Peace, y'all. It's your boy Vinny Venom, the Commission Cypher, episode number 13. We live and direct from the Hydro Bar. It's time, baby. It's time, man. I'm excited to be up here. We've been consistent the last couple weeks, man. So we up here again. It's another beautiful Saturday. It's hot as a motherfucker in the 505. So I encourage everybody, if you parched, if you need to get rehydrated, come to the Hydro Bar, man. Hydrobar.io is the website. Come holler at us. Alkaline water to the T, man. I said it here before. You got to stay hydrated, man. It's getting hot out here. People ain't eating right. Make sure you get your water in. So come holler at my peoples at the Hydro Bar. Shout out to Tim, Junior, seen us out to Julie. We up here today, man. So couple of things. We live right now on YouTube. We also live on Facebook. We got the Instagram live coming soon, man. Shout out to my dude, Johnny, from IG and Meta. We're going to do some Instagram live joints here shortly. We live today. I got a special guest. I'm going to introduce him here in just a few minutes. July 12th, we'll be back live again with Mark the Dark. He an upcoming artist from the Southwest, so we're going to interview him. He's going to kick some bars. So I'm excited to have him up here. We got some additional guests kind of towards the end of June, end of July, top of August. So I'll keep y'all informed. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all that YouTube shit. Hit the like button. If you don't like the video, hit the thumbs down too. Any interaction helps us out on the channel. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everybody that's been subscribing. I appreciate everybody that's been in the comment section. Producer T-Rav has access to the comments. So if you want to abuse him, abuse Grizz, abuse myself, feel free. Just remember that there's consequences for your verbiage, right? You know, keep it gangster. You want to talk some shit? Let's go. You guys are still coming out my head for my Pusha T comments, and I stand on them. You're not going to sway my opinion left or right. At the end of the day, I said what I said, and I'm standing on it, right? Rock the Bells Festival today. Anybody in New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, tri-state area, Rock the Bells Festival is today at the Prudential Center. Make sure you get your tickets. Last time I heard there was a few tickets still left, so make sure you go out there. MOP, Busta Rhymes, Remy Ma. Bro, they even got Donnell Jones. You remember Donnell Jones? Bro, they got some R&B throwbacks up there. It's going to be an amazing event, man. Shout out to my Rock the Bells family. Do not forget the Drama Hour every Friday night. Shout out to my brother Papoose, man. We live 9 p.m. Eastern each and every Friday on Sirius XM channel motherfucking 43, man. Rock the Bells. Salute. I'm forgetting something, man. Hydro Bar merch, bro. We got the Hydro Bar merch, man. I don't know if the camera can get it, but we got some merch here in the Hydro Bar. Make sure that you come holler at my boy Tim. We got him for sale. We're going to have him up on the website as well. We got a movement going on. And listen, I've been trying to let people know very humbly it's all about health and wealth, right? One of the key things on this podcast is we do talk about making sure that as we go through our jobs, our 9-to-5, supporting our family, that we stay health conscious, right? And have an alkaline lifestyle is so important, man. So shout out to my brother Tim. We got some dope merch dropping. We got some fire-ass shit coming, too, with the hats and hoodies for the winter and the fall. And we got a lot of stuff going on. So, again, please make sure y'all hit up hydrobar.io. Come see us in the Hydro Bar. If you want to do a membership, you can come in here and get your gallons filled up, 5-gallon jugs, supply your water for the week. We got monthly memberships. Just come in and tell them Vinny sent you, all right? And my guy Dennis from New York, I help you. My old OG, Julie, Tim Jr., Tim Senior, they're all here to help out, man. So come see us, come visit us, man. So without any further ado, man, episode 13, man.
What's
crazy,
up?
Man.
Yeah.
We've been banging the fuck out, man. Pause, you know what I'm saying? But we trying to make it happen. I appreciate everybody, supporting us, and we do things a little differently around here. We're not really clickbait. We do have deep discussions. We do debate. We do threaten each other just verbally up here. We don't really do anything outside of that because we brothers, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to have a fun episode today. So I got my guest up here. I want to introduce you to my guest. This brother right here, man, I've known him for a long time, man. I seen him come up, really perfected his craft, but also being, most importantly, a student of the game. So since we talk about hip-hop on this podcast, he was a perfect guest for that. But also because his contributions to the local scene here. But one of my favorite producers, right? He's been my go-to for a lot of stuff for my artists. He's been a go-to for even stuff here. So I got DJ Jason in the house. What's up, G?
What's good, my guy?
How you, man?
I'm blessed, brother.
Appreciate you coming up here, man. Long time coming. But I don't say it lightly. He's one of my favorite people on the local scene because he understands the music business side of things, but he also understands that the culture's important as well, and we have to do our best to balance the two, right? We want to keep this shit alive for our kids and our grandkids, et cetera, et cetera. So, super producer. He's dabbling into some collectibles and things like that. So we're gonna talk some other shit like that. But I appreciate you being up here. How's everything on your side, man? Everything good?
Living the life, man. My dream is, it's coming true.
That's dope, man.
So,
hey, man, just keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? I got my super producer T-Rav in the spot. What's up, G?
Big chillin'.
Big chillin'. How you, man? How's everything?
All right.
Staying hydrated. It's fucking hot out here.
Bro,
man.
it's hotter than hell. I'm staying my ass inside most of the day, though.
Gotta get outside, though, a little bit.
Like,
I know it's
we don't
crazy.
make any sense. We don't make no sense.
I know I was at a park before this. Some of my family was doing like a baby shower. They expecting a baby boy, so I had to drop off some stuff to them before I came here. And I thought the same thing. Like, oh, I'm wearing black. It's fucking hot as a bitch out here. I got my homie Grizz in the spot. What's up, G?
Hey, what's happening?
How you, man?
Chilling. You?
Hey, man. Maintaining, not complaining.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, for sure.
Everything your way good?
Always, yes.
How the kids,
Great,
man? Everybody
great.
good?
They're good. They're getting big. My daughter's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
She's all right.
That's usually how it go.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, man, we gonna
be adults.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Having kids is like...
She's two.
Two?
She's two, yeah.
She bossy, too, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
how
the
my
age.
daughter was at 2, 3. She's still bossy now.
Yeah.
She tells me, my daughter, she comes up to me on Wednesday. She says, Dad, my cousin wants to talk to you. I said, what you mean, your cousin? She said, she wants to talk to you. So I get on the phone, on her iPad, and I'm talking to her little cousin. Now, mind you, they're a week apart. My daughter's going to be 10 this year.
10?
So,
Damn.
yeah. So her cousin is literally a week apart. She starts telling me this plan. She's got this grandiose plan. Oh, we're going to do a sleepover. We're going to do some skincare, XYZ, da-da-da-da. I looked her dead in the face on the FaceTime. I said, you telling me or you asking me?
No, they tell you.
I'm telling you. I said, put your mother on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, these kids nowadays is insane, bro. You know what I'm saying? But they planted the whole thing, and, that's what these kids do now. They don't ask nothing, bro. They tell you what they do. So you got to be, you got to put your foot down. I know you do. I know you do as a dad. You know what I'm saying? You disciplinary, bro. Nah?
Nah. With my daughter, no.
No?
No, I can't. I don't really tell her no.
Really?
No.
That's interesting.
What I gotta tell her no for? Yeah, I mean, yeah. For now, she just wants Cheetos and shit. You know what I'm saying? She's nothing crazy.
Yeah,
she's a little baby.
Yeah. She's not asking for anything wild yet.
And all that.
Yeah, bro.
No, it's crazy. Like, my son get away with murder, bro.
Yeah.
And you know what it is, bro? It's like, and I can't stand it because he knows what he's doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, like, I'll discipline him. He'll go hug my wife. And my wife's back turning me, and he got his face to me like,
I got you.
Dad? Yeah, I know what you doing, Mello. Punk. I'll put you in a headlock, son. But nah, these kids get away with murder these days, but we just got to keep on them, you know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, I got DJ J sitting in the house, man. So, one of the crazy things as we chop it up today, we're going to hit some topics, but one of the things that I was just thinking about, right, is like, me and you came up, we was kids, bro. Like, we grew up together, right?
Absolutely.
So, and it's crazy because when I think back at that time frame, there was only like 2 or 3 things that we really, really enjoyed. It was basketball, hip-hop, music, and then it was wrestling. That was our thing, bro. That was like the trifecta of everything. So you a producer. Tell me a little bit coming up. I guess let's start from the genesis. Like, was there an album, a song, a moment in time in hip-hop where you was like, yo, I want to do that shit?
Man, so we listen to music constantly. We listen to everything from Method Man, Dre, M, all of it. I think the moment I started hearing like DJ Premier, I think that's what put me on. I'm like, okay, I need to start doing something in the music, whether it's producing or DJing. So, yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Anything Premier, Gangstar.
What was your first like primo? Do you remember like your first Gangstar record or primo
Above the
beat?
Clouds.
Okay.
Above the Clouds.
That's classic.
We used to watch skate videos, and so much of our talent, or not talent, our taste of music came from those skate videos. All the hip hop that was in it. I remember watching one video, over and over and over, and that song was in there. And I was like, you know what? I think DJing is something I need to look into.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I always go back to like, I always like to try to ask like, what was that moment in time where shit just clicked? You know what I'm saying? And
well, I mean, my mom, music was the biggest thing in her. So we would wake up Saturday morning, music playing, blasting. Anita Baker, you know, OJ's, all that influence. So we got that side of it. And then when I started hearing those songs being sampled in hip hop, I was like, oh, this is different.
Yeah.
This is something like
there's art to it.
Yeah, and it takes me back. It takes you back to that good time. You're like, oh, I remember waking up on Saturday, cartoons, mom's cleaning, Anita Baker in the background.
Absolutely.
You know, and then you hear a song that sampled that.
Absolutely.
Like,
it's crazy you bring that up. I was digging through the crates a little bit. I got hard drives full of just mixtape era stuff. A lot of shit that's not on DSPs, you know what I'm saying? Or that's not on DSPs, you know what I'm saying? Or on YouTube. And
Dat Piff era.
Yeah, I'd probably say pre-dat, but yeah, same thing. Like kind of within, for the new school cast, the young cast that grew up with Dat Piff, it was like, Dat Piff was a hard drive, you feel me? We just had a bunch of shit on there, but Don't Walk Away by Jade was a big R&B record in the 90s. Yeah. My mom's love that record, and Shigri did that shit. Dazel did that shit from the Locks. I was like, wow. And it's dope because, you get them old records and then you see these creators flip it and make it something different. Yeah. Right? Or they interpret it in a different way. It could be a banger, a hard joint. It could be a R&B record, but that's super dope. So Primo, big influence. And I mean, it makes sense because Premier's such a, to me, Premier's the greatest of all time.
Has to be.
Okay. I don't want to debate too much right now because we're gonna get into it in a minute. But are you putting Preem number one in the list of all time?
Of all time?
Of all time. Are you putting Dre ahead of him?
If we're going strictly records, strictly records. We're not talking about who they put on.
I mean, let's just say holistically from top to bottom. Let's just say overall, as a producer in hip hop, is he number one?
He might be.
Yeah,
I feel like because
he's my number one.
He worked with,
no question.
He's worked with hundreds and hundreds of artists, everyone you can think of, new school artists, R&B artists, Japanese artists. You can look and find a Primo record anywhere.
I know, it's insane. I was blessed to be in D&D before it closed. Oof. When Remy came home, I took a flight out because we all had this plan to. Pap rented out like Lamborghinis and stuff to go pick up from Bedford Hills. So, shout to Primo's manager, Ian Schwartzman. I had my suitcase with me. I literally left JFK. I took an Uber to the Bronx with my bag, and then we were all driving up to Bedford Hills to go see Rem. Well, Rem didn't get released because the fucking prison was like, oh, y'all got a fucking circus out here. We ain't gonna let her go. She gonna stay the night. Fuck. I couldn't get back home, so Ian takes me back to the city. He's like, oh, you want to see Preem's studio? I said, absolutely, bro.
That's not
got
even
to
a
see
question.
D&D, and this was like maybe a month or two before, he moved his studio. And when I tell you, like, when I went into the studio, I felt, it's hard to explain, but I felt.
The greatness?
Yeah, bro. Like, I'm sitting in the seat that Jay was. I think somebody had told me when we was in the studio, like, yo, you sitting in the chair that Jay sat in when he did The Evils.
The Evils.
And that's one of my favorite J records. So you're in this room of greatness, bro, and you just sit back and like, it's probably one of my premier moments as a person, or as a fan of hip hop, I should say, is like, damn, we in D&D type shit.
That's crazy. I'm extra jealous
Insane,
on that. Extra
bro.
jealous on that.
But Preem is one of those guys. He's one of those architects where I feel now he's definitely been able to kind of stand the test of time from, the late 80s or the mid 80s until now. Like he's doing records with, top tier artists, not only in hip hop, but just in music. So I have to agree with you on that. So I know coming up, obviously you're a big fan of the hip hop side. What made you get into producing? A lot of people want to be a rapper, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of people say, yo, I just want to be a rapper. And that's it, call it a day. What made you decide, like, yo, I want to be a DJ / producer?
It was Primo. Just hearing those cuts, hearing the scratching. And then we had Scribble Jam. I don't know if you remember Scribble Jam.
Yeah.
So it was like an MC,
Vaguely. Yeah, I remember
DJ. It was like the battle scene in the 90s, 2000s. They would always have these DJ battles in there. These cats just scratching against each other, talking shit on record. And I was like, man, I want to do that. I want to do that. So, yeah, I said, Mom,
that's it.
We're going to Guitar Center, and
that was it.
That was the start of everything.
Yo, I want to show some love to your moms. Yo, shout out to your moms, bro.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you remember this, but I remember it was when we first linked up. Marshall Mathers LP came out.
Yeah.
And at the time, we couldn't go buy the CDs because I used to have them 18 and under stickers. Yo, I gave his moms the bread.
Absolutely.
She dropped it off with us at school. Type shit. She's like, yo, here's a CD.
Facts.
You think your mom knew what was in that CD?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. She had the Doggy Style cassette.
Oh, word?
And I stole it from her. She had Chronic on wax. She had all kinds of stuff. I don't think she was listening to it. I just know she had got it from somewhere. Mm-hmm. And yeah, she let me take all that. She didn't know what was on that. On Doggy crazy. Style at what? 6, 7 years old?
Yeah, what was
should
that?
Be listening to that.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy because I think about that shit all the time because we was young, bro. We had to be like, I don't even think, maybe we was probably 13, 14.
At least.
Like, I'm like, yo, because I just remember during that time frame, we were such music junkies that we couldn't get the tapes or the CDs because you always have to show your ID. You had to be 18 and older.
Yep.
So your moms came in clutch, bro.
Anything.
And it wasn't just an M album. It was every album that came out during that time. He was like, yo, I give your mom's a 20, she go get it. I was like, yo, your mom, she was the greatest, man. Shout out to your mom.
She still is the greatest. She still is, absolutely.
She's amazing, man.
Couldn't do things without her, you know?
For real, man, for real. So I know sometimes in the city, right, in the 505, there's this like, I think sometimes there's this dark cloud around the city where it's like it's just one version of hip hop that comes here, right?
Yeah.
And it's usually like late to the party. So what I mean by that is like something will pop up on a mainstream level, and it takes the 505 like 6 to 8 months to catch up.
Absolutely.
And then they start duplicating, and by that time we off to something else. One thing for you that I've really noticed is that you, on a production level, you have a different style for every kind of piece of hip hop. So like there's some trap shit in there.
Everything.
There's some soul samples, right? There's some of that just chopping. No
Everything.
drums. It's like you just letting the sample ride. Why do you think that's so important in this city to have that kind of sound as a producer to shop your beats out?
Like the diversity from it?
Yeah.
Because you hear the sound out here, it's all the same.
It's
all the same. You know, like I said, student to the game, study music from all over the world. You know, a lot of that stuff sounds different. A lot of my influences, they're not from out here. Mm-hmm. So, you know, when I'm on YouTube or I'm on anything, I'm studying. And just hearing the different sounds from the different, you know, areas of the world, I have to try to recreate that because I don't want to sound... I don't want to be
one-dimensional.
I don't want to stay in a box. You know what I mean? I don't want to sound like... If you hear my stuff, you're not going to pinpoint where I'm from. You know what I mean? I could be from wherever.
Yeah, it's kind of that jack of all trades mentality where it's like, yo, I want to have a significant sound. And I think sometimes too, like when we look at when I was coming up, or at least, and I know you can vouch as well, is like we listened to everything. It wasn't just East Coast shit. I'm from the East Coast, so obviously I'm more leaning to that. But it was like I remember, I think actually I know for sure you were the first one to put me on the Exhibit.
Exhibit, absolutely.
And Exhibit's one of my favorites, bro. That guy he's still insane. But it's like we started to kind of then the South kind of came, and we started paying attention to the South. And
Outkast.
Outkast and UGK. A-Ball MJG. So it was dope for us to have that mentality because I think nowadays, especially in this kind of weird era in hip-hop, it's not so much regional now. Because back in the day, like me and Gris talk about it all the time, he stands on his sword. He'll be like, yo, if it's Tupac versus Big, he's picking a side, and he dying on that side. You feel me? There was never like, yo, I like Big and Pac. He's like, nah, that shit ain't flying.
Yeah.
We didn't come up like that at least, but I know there was a generation after, or I should say a generation before that was very territorial. It's like if it was West Coast, I ain't bumping it. If you from New York, that's it.
You remember the whole Pac and Beef, Big Beef?
Yeah.
They were making magazine covers saying, you know, West versus East.
All of that.
They put it out there.
Right.
But, you know, the beauty of it is that, like you said, we listen to everything. It could be from Canada. It could be from, Europe. It can be from wherever.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't matter. We don't have to pick a side on that.
What's your process on? I know a lot of the time. I know you like to sample dig, right? You like to dig in the crates. Are you more old school, digging in the crates, vinyl shop, picking your vinyl? I know technology's advanced nowadays. Is there a new way to dig for samples for you nowadays in your process now? How are you doing that?
Yeah, so a lot of those records, you would get a record back in the day, and it might not be the best quality. So when you sample it in, there's a scratch here, there's something here. Yeah. You can find all those joints on YouTube now. I just pull everything from YouTube. And then there's a service called Splice. They just have tons and tons and tons of samples, literally whatever you want, drums, percussions, vocals, everything. And that's literally my go-to right now is all that.
That's dope. All you upcoming producers that want to get into the game and want to start doing things, I think the first thing I'm going to tell you as a non-producer, but I have an ear, is that you need to do your homework first.
Yep.
Right? Learn music, right? Learn notes. Learn not only just what hip-hop is about, but understand what the music's about, and then take those. Splice is a great service, man. Shout to Splice, man. They got a dope piece of technology out there for everybody.
It's crazy, and it's studio quality sound. Mm-hmm. I think you pay like $10 a month, and you get like 500 credits, and each sample is a credit. So you just go on there. I have thousands of credits, and I just be downloading samples all day.
It's crazy because I remember when I was a kid. So my mom had a crate. She still got a crate she still got the crate. And I looked through her shit. I be like, yo, what the fuck? Like, she just has some off the wall shit.
Random
and
stuff.
that's the shit that's the shit that you pull from. You know what I'm saying? But I remember, shout out to my brother J Dot, when we was doing our trek here and we was doing a lot of recording. We kind of hit this snag where it was like the internet was there, but like we couldn't really grab the samples. I remember we sampled a Michael Jackson record. And we couldn't even grab, we could grab a CD rip from, and bootleg it.
Absolutely.
But we wanted the actual highest quality possible because we were such a stickler. And it was finding the records back then was so bad. Because this is around the time when CDs started, the stores started phasing out.
Yeah.
You couldn't really find vinyls unless maybe you was at, a yard sale or something like that.
Yeah.
So the way technology's changed is amazing, bro. And that's why I think now this young generation got it made. So now it's you can't make no excuses. The shit is there for you.
Oh, yeah.
It's there. It's accessible. You just got to Google the shit, right? When you're producing, let me ask you before I ask you that question. So when you're producing for artists, do you like to be in the studio with them?
Absolutely.
And to kind of, okay.
Absolutely. Because what I'll do is I'll play some stuff that I already made just to see where they're at. If they vibe, they like a certain sound. And then I'm like, all right, let's make something. Dope. So I already know what they're vibing to. I hate sending beats out to people. I'm trying not to do that anymore.
It's hard.
It's hard because you send really someone a pack of beats, 20 beats. 2 years later,
I know.
Yo, you make a track with any of those yet?
I know.
So no, I'd rather have them in the studio. Record it then.
Doing it, absolutely. That's one of the hard things too. Is working over the years with a lot of different artists is that's usually what it's like. It's send me a beat pack. And one thing that's crazy though, and I think I learned that from Preem too, having my interactions with Preem. He works like that too. Mm-hmm. I ain't sending you no beat. I'm gonna make something for you.
You go to him,
and he makes it for you.
Absolutely.
I remember when producer T-Rap, what was the NBA game that Preem joint?
Streets
with Pap. It was Pap.
No,
and,
it was 2K16.
Okay.
Oh, recently.
So
Primo did the whole, or I think he did part of the soundtrack. I think they did 3 different producers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Primo had his 15 songs or whatever. That AEO song.
Yeah.
He put that on there. Did the
the Run the Jewels joint.
Mm-hmm.
No,
that was later.
No, that foreign group.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna play this shit.
Yeah, so when Preem was doing that shit, I just remember he basically made that beat for Pap.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, take that. And everything that we've had on Pap's albums from Primo has been straight tailor-made for him. And it's crazy because usually I don't know, I'm not an MC. I used to rap back in the day, but I'm not a rap at that caliber. But if I want 3 or 4 to pick from. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But it's nah, that's it. And then you just go with it because it's Preem. He knows. Preem knows everything. So it's dope that you have that ear as well with the talent that you work with. I think that's important to be in the studio. That sending track shit to me, I think it's transactional.
Yeah,
you don't get the soul in it. Like you don't be able to collaborate and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Especially if they don't know what kind of beats you make, what kind of production style you have.
Yeah.
They just say, yo, send me something. That's how a lot of cats are out here. They want trap stuff or they want this and that, and I'll send them hip hop, and they're like, I can't rock with this. And I'm like, It was like, who was it? Uzi? Didn't he go on somewhere and they tried to put a hip hop beat? He's like, I'm not rapping to that.
Yo, shout out to Uzi.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not rapping to that.
I think it was Kodak, actually.
Well, Kodak.
I think Uzi did that shit too, though.
I think it was Uzi.
I think Uzi did that shit too, bro.
They were trying
was it the Ebro show? I think it might have been the Ebro
yeah,
show,
it was
bro.
Ebro.
But I think
That's right.
Yeah,
I got a theory on that. I think a lot of these guys
but
like
Ebro's a dick. You know what I'm saying?
Ebro?
Yeah, bro.
Don't get me started on you.
Yeah, bro. That
It was
fool
either him or
just-
Academics. It was one of the two.
I'm pretty sure it was
know
Ebro
what's
because that
wild
fool's a
is like,
dick.
yo-
He did it on purpose, I'm sure. You know
absolutely.
what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
He's like, yo, rap to this premiere beat. And
Yeah.
Uzi's like, nah. It's like, that's not what I do. That's not what I do.
Right.
But that's the thing. It's like you want him to be somebody he's not. He's not. He ain't not a fucking hip hop dude.
And that's the beauty of hip hop. I think now is like we one of the dope things about this show, and there's a reason I wanted you up here, is that everybody's got their own opinion and their own taste on shit, right? And it's really about an education piece, because at the end of the day, hip hop is an art. It's not it's not a science. You know what I'm saying? There's no right or wrong way to do this shit. Like Uzi's a great example. Like Uzi can spit. Uzi got fucking bars.
So his first stuff, man, he was.
And it's crazy because I seen him transition to who he is as an authentic person. And you cater that, like, I fucks with Uzi. I rock with what he does.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As long as he ain't disrespectful and this, that, and that. I think you're talking about Kodak when he was like, yo, I ain't playing that Biggie shit. And it kind of came off disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, a lot of, some rappers can do what others do, but I'll tell you one thing. Them other rappers can't do what the other guys do.
Exactly.
You feel me? And that's what makes hip-hop hip-hop. You feel me?
But do we call them rappers or do we call them just artists at this point?
We call them, I don't know. I was having this conversation. Yo, shouts to my wife. I know she ain't tuned in because she busy right now. But, bro, me and my wife been having this debate because I be telling her, it's like, yo, there's something about, it's like, I don't know the right word to put it, but it's like, and I don't really want to categorize a specific artist, but it's like the guys who don't rap, they're not MCs. I don't know what they are, but they're not masters of ceremonies. They can't do it all.
They're artists. They're
just.
It's that hip hop.
I wouldn't even call it that, because like.
But like, and not put pop as in like the popular. Like literally, just take it as like hip hop. Like it's the popular.
It's a popular thing. I don't know, man. I don't know what to call it, but there's just certain things that I appreciate guys like Uzi and I appreciate guys like Kodak who have their own style of doing things. It works for them, right? But that's them. They can't do what my guys do.
But
you know
you wouldn't call Kodak a rapper?
I would
I'll call him I don't know.
I mean, I think Kodak.
But
Kodak's fire.
Hip hop is his own thing, for
Yeah.
sure, right? But I think rapping is just like slick talk. Feel me? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, bro, shit,
that
and that's
slick
what
talk
it depends
bullshit,
on where
yeah.
you're from. You know what I'm saying? It's like shit out in Florida. The type of shit he's talking about is the type of shit, you know what I'm saying?
I guess for me, like, I guess when
I just
consider-
feel like, like 50 says like talk greasy, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that's all that shit
Yeah.
is, bro. And it's like, yeah, it's different to everybody else, and I understand that like hip hop is its own thing for sure, and I feel like that's like the birthplace or like the origin of what we're at,
Right, you
what we
talking
got
about, like-
now. But at the same
Yeah.
time, you can't. I feel like. Fuck it, yeah, Kodak is a rapper. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Uzi is a rapper. I feel like even
I shouldn't say he's not a rapper. I just feel he's not one of those guys that could do everything. You know how like we talk about our favorite MCs, they could do anything. Like Nas is versatile. He could do anything. You feel me?
And
Pac
he's
can
shown
do
it.
anything, right? Big can do anything. I don't think some of these rappers can't do everything.
But if you
feel
have
me?
to categorize it and put them in a genre, it's rap,
right?
I guess.
Yeah.
anything as far as what goes, as far as what. Like when you say anything, I don't think Kodak wants to do everything. I think he just wants to spit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get
and
that.
when I say spit, I mean he's talking about that Florida shit. He's spitting the shit that is from where he's from. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right. Well,
where he's from, them motherfuckers
that's
feel
what
it.
hip-hop is
You know what
to
I'm
me,
saying?
is
They
that
got them big the wicks in their shit in Florida. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
those
yeah.
type of cats nod their head to his shit. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
absolutely.
And,
no, but that's the beauty. That's what I'm saying. But that's the beauty of hip hop is that everybody can come from different walks of life on earth.
Yeah.
And still be able to bop, hit you with that beat, and then rap. Whatever you rapping about, you're putting your words together, right? You're a spokesperson for your hood. You're a spokesperson for your situation. You understand what I'm saying? What makes you elite, right, is being able to encapsulate everything.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like that's what Nas did. Nas had the crazy concepts. Nas had the well-crafted albums. That's what I love about hip-hop.
Yeah.
I'm not really a guy that likes singles. I've learned in my older age that, it's a business, right? So it's like Kodak. He puts 40 records on the album, and 5, 6 of them joints going to be in the top 100 because they're bops. That's what he goes for, right? So there's a difference, I think. There's a difference in MCs in the sense of, some guys really want to put out a piece of art, and some guys just want to, rap, do their thing. There's nothing wrong with it at all.
Yeah.
It's
A
all
lot
hip-hop.
of it is about money.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of it is. So let's call them trap rappers then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's.
I hate putting that shit, but I get what you're saying.
But that's what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're not in this for the culture. They're not in this to put out music for people to enjoy on that type of level.
Right.
It's a party.
Yeah.
They're trying to pack clubs. They're trying to make the radios. They're trying to
Stay
make
on
videos.
that, because one thing I want to ask you is that when it comes to your production style, like, how do you adapt to the scene here? Like, I know you've been doing your thing for a long time here. How do you adapt to the scene here? Because there is a lot of that here. And not just here in the city, but I think that happens a lot, where that trap is very much so, that's where these kids come from. They come from the hood. They come from the trap, and that's all they know. How do you adapt to that? And do you ever work with an artist and be like, hey, I know you want to do that trap. We could do that, but hey, I want you to expand your diameter. I want you to maybe look at this beat, check this beat out. What's your process like working with guys like that?
So I've been trying to get into the. I try to stay current. I try to stay.
You listen everything out?
Everything.
Yeah,
I try to listen. I mean, Lil Baby's one of my favorite artists.
Baby's fire, yo. Baby's fire, bro.
Like some of his, and if you break down what he's saying too, it's wild.
Nah, he's
it's got heart behind it. But some of the artists out here, what I'll do is because I got a lot of soul, a lot of R&B flavor behind it. So I like to make trap, but more melodic, not the synths and all that stuff. I like to take samples and flip them with the trap drums. So it creates more of a story to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It makes them like, okay, I'm gonna talk about this instead of just talking about the typical.
Melody's key. That's
Melody's
important
key,
because that's what catches the ear.
Absolutely.
That's what catches the ear, and that's what makes it. I steal it from Pharrell. That sticky.
Yep.
It makes the song sticky. You know what I mean? Like, it's stuck in your head, the melody, and then obviously if the artist you're working with is crafty enough with the pen, he's able to create a dope hook or a good chorus to go with it. So,
But like you said, because if not, then we're stuck 6-7 months behind making stuff that we just heard, and they're like, well, we already heard that. The world's already heard that. So it's so hard to blow up here unless you're actually stepping outside of that and making different sounds. You know,
that's
what I mean?
important. And shout out to Cali Soul, man. I actually had that conversation with him not too long ago. We had him up on a pod, and he kicked a crazy
my boy.
freestyle. I saw Cali for Juneteenth, and he was getting ready to perform, but he had some downtime, and he was kicking it with my son, and we bought some merch for some of his label mates and things like that. And I was telling him, I said, yo, your sound here is what's gonna take you out.
Absolutely.
Because he's thinking outside the box.
Absolutely.
He's still from here. He still reps here. I know he lives in LA. He's dual. He lives here and then he lives in LA. But he told me that too. He says, yo, some of these guys are so one-dimensional that, and I told him, I said, they think oval. They egghead motherfuckers. They think oval.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And all they attempt to do is to be hot locally. And he's got dreams and ambitions beyond that. But he's got the right mental to do it, and he's musically inclined.
And he studied. He's a student to the game.
Student of the game.
When I first met him, man, he'll tell you, Bert's. He was doing the Wednesday joints, the every Wednesday shows.
Why does that sound familiar? What?
Bert's Tiki Lounge downtown.
I remember that spot.
Bro, we were in the
Remember that
scene.
spot?
We were in the scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he would young boy. He would go up there and he would spit, and I'm like, so I remember he came off stage when I was like, bro, you're next. Me and the homie Third Leg, we were like, you next, man. And
Which one? Might be there. Just work on it. We good. Just put it on them for now, or whoever else. The crazy thing is that with Cali too is that he he's been one of those guys, I think, too, as I seen him kind of grow from that. Because I remember I was chopping up with your wife here just a moment ago before we went on air. DZ was, you know, he was part of my crew for a while. And fucking DZ was a top tier guy, like lyrically. I feed DZ fucking beats, bro.
Absolutely.
I feed him a Nas beat, a big beat. I throw him a Dre beat. I throw him any kind of current beat that was on it, he'd ride on it. And Cali would come up and be like, yo, Vinny, can I spit something for you? You know, tag me. He was young boy.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
And I was like, damn, like his timing was just impeccable then. And all he's done now is just elevate. So shouts to him. I'm super proud of him.
Oh, yeah. When I saw him on that NBC show, man.
Insane,
We
bro.
watched it live.
Yeah.
Man, I'm a fan of him through and through. Through.
He's one of those guys to me that we're working on some things. I've been blessed to be able to work with him behind the scenes. So I'm a behind the scenes kind of guy. I don't like playing in front. I don't like being on Front Street. It's one of the arguments I always get into with Rim. Shouts to Rim. I love you so much, but like I don't want to be Front Street. Like I just don't. I'm the not to steal from Don Callis, but I'm the invisible hand, bro.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be the invisible hand, and I pride myself on that because, you know,
Yo, shout out Don Callis. That's crazy.
that's my guy.
That's a nice
dog.
reference like
Yo,
that.
that's my fucking guy, bro. We're gonna talk about that shit too today. But I don't want to be Front Street because I got clowned on when I was on my come up. I'm gonna tell y'all this story. Rest in peace, Stack Bundles. I got him tatted on my arm, bro. Stack was part of Jim Jones's Bird Gang. It was like probably 05, 06. My grandmother lived about 10, 15 minutes away from Far Rockaway, which is where Stack Bundles was from.
Yep.
I'm in a bodega. Regular schmegular, I'm getting a sandwich, a boy's head sandwich. Stack Bundles walk in. And I don't know if you remember, but in high school, I used to carry the thin CD jewel cases. I used to carry 3 or 4 of them in my back pocket because I always had my fucking CD player on me. This guy knows. Always. Well, I had a Stack Bundles mixtape. I was in transit going there because I would always walk everywhere. Stack Bundles in the bodega. And I'm a fan. Like, this is the mixtape era. This is like prime mixtape era. I have his mixtape in the back of my pocket. I pull it out. Yo, can you sign it? I'm a fan at this point. And he's like, hey, where you from? Like, you ain't from around here. It's like, nah, you know, my grandmother lives in Long Beach, but I'm making a trek. I took the train, the bus. I'm walking over here. You know somebody from around here? I said, yeah, I know somebody from around here. Long story short, he signs a CD. He says, yo, I was a kid. He's like, yo, what you want to be when you grow up? I was like, I want to be a rapper. He looked me dead in my face. He says, yo, son, you too ugly for that.
Damn.
But he was right. I didn't have, right. Yeah, I didn't have the, you got to think about it from a business perspective at that time, especially in the late 90s and early 2000s, you had to have that look, that mold. It didn't matter how good you were, right? You had to fit that mold. And he was like, what's that in your pocket? And I pull out. And at the time, I was doing Dipset Street Team, so I had a lot of my promo on me in my backpack in my pocket. He's like, you that little rascal out here with these fucking posters. I said, you're damn right. He's like, yo, that's your calling, yo. And he changed my life because from that moment on, I stopped rapping. I pulled out some shit with Jay and Shane when we was doing our shit together. Like, I put a 16 together.
Absolutely.
You want me to rap for you? I got you.
I remember.
But that was it. I really wouldn't play it like that because Stack told me, he's like, yo, son, you too ugly for that shit. And shout out to Bino. I seen Bino at the Slay. Rest in peace, K Slay. We did a street. We named the street after Slay, and we did a revealing. And I never met Stack's right-hand man was this cat named Bino. I never met him. We had conversations here and there, but I never met him. I pulled him aside, and I embraced him, and I said, yo, this is why Stack changed my life. Because if he didn't tell me to stop rapping, I would have kept going and be like, yo, who is this guy? And I took that, and I was like, yo, I'm going to do this promo shit. I'm going to master this shit, and I'm going to kill that shit. Because I was determined on making sure that the artist I was repping had the best look. You feel me? And he changed my life, telling me that. A lot of people take that as an insult. You know, they cow and be like, oh, this guy told me he was ugly. Yo, Stack was the handsome hustler. And to be honest, in my opinion, he was Drake before Drake with that pretty boy talk.
Absolutely.
That flow, that, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was that guy.
You put me on to him.
Prior to Drake. So it was just dope to be able to have that, somebody pull you and kind of like, I know you want to do this, but I see something in you, go this way. You know what I'm saying? Did you ever have an instant like that where maybe you thought like, hey, I want to do this style of production, and it turned you to a different corner? Or even a DJ, because I know you DJ as well. Was there anybody in your corner that maybe detoured you in a time where you needed to be detoured?
Nah, I mean, it might have been the opposite. Like, I stopped messing with people, you know, out of high school, you know, friends dropping off, all this. I just stopped messing with people. And I think it was in spite of them, you know, telling me, oh, yeah, a lot of people told me, do this, go play football, go play sports, go do whatever.
They always want to tell you what to do.
I was like, I'm not trying to play football. I'm not trying to get no concussions and no CT that we didn't know about back then.
Facts.
And I was like, you know what? So a lot of nights by myself, just chilling, music saved me through and through. Every era of my life, there was music there.
Nah,
so
it's true.
I think, you know, being so diverse with what I listen to, that shaped me on. I'm like, okay, because you know, I in the scene out here, I know everybody.
Right.
I know the sound out here.
Right.
You know, I will always tell you through and through, I'm from here, but like I don't rep it. Right. You know, you're not gonna see 505 artwork or 505 tatted on me.
Right.
Because, you know, the world doesn't know about out here like that.
Right.
The world thinks we're a part of Mexico. So
yeah, they think
to be honest, I'm like, I'm not gonna rep somewhere. I'm just gonna let the music speak for itself.
Yeah, I'm the same way, bro. I think that some of the time when we come up, we're trying to get shit done, right? When we're all trying to hustle, we're all trying to do our own thing. You don't want to be regionalized, right? You don't want to be just like, yo, that's it. You know what I mean? Like, and I think it's because we don't think that way. We don't think that egghead mentality is like, yo, we're trying to go beyond that. To me, like, music and culture has no border. Either you in or you're not. The problem here is that the gatekeepers, as I call them in this city, have been held on to it for so long that they won't let the new blood come in. Facts. And I've been a victim of that. I've had people come up to me like, yo, radio stations, hey, we want to do A, B, and C. Why are you guys not playing? Okay, you're playing top 40, but what are you doing in the city to bring up? I love LA's radio scene. They bring up their artists, bro. Yeah, they love their artists. They want to bring them up. Of course, they're going to play the Kendricks and, you know, the OT, Genesis and all that, but they playing the young guys coming up. And New York had that until Slay passed. You know what I'm saying? Now it's a ghost town. Like there's no guy repping for them. So it's hard. It's really, really hard. You know what I'm saying? You mentioned Primo was a big influence. I guess we're gonna do a top 5 conversation. Fuck it.
Of all
top 5 producers all time.
Let's do it.
Who's your top 5?
My top 5? Preem. 9th.
Woo!
The soul that man has consistently put out, man, the Little Brother days, all of that shaped me of what my sound was for a good few years, was just 9th. Soul, hip hop, boom bap, you know. Someone y'all probably don't know, or I don't know if y'all heard of, but growing up, Cunning Linguist was a rap group. They had a producer, DJ No. He also rapped. He was in the group. But his beats, man, that was a huge influence for me coming up. And then so that's 3. Kanye. Kanye has, as you know, we're not talking about Kanye as a human. We're talking from an artist standpoint.
What you think of Kanye, man?
As a human, I pray for him.
You think? No, go ahead, finish. I want to ask you something about that after.
Yeah, Kanye, musically, genius.
He's amazing, bro.
Genius. And it's crazy if you actually look up his discography of what he's produced. So many tracks that you would never know. You're like, oh, Kanye did that. So
it's funny you say that. I actually remember early Dipset days. I remember. I don't know if it was a Jewel's record. Nah, it had to be a Cam record. No, it was actually like a mixtape cut, and I thought the Heatmakers did it because it was very soulful. And I shot the Black Adoni. He was like, "Yo, nah, Kanye did that shit." And from that moment, this is early Kanye. I'm talking. This is probably like 04, 05. No, this had to be like 05, maybe 06. I'm like, no, it can't have been. It had to have been before that because I'm trying to think now. Pardon me. I know we live. My fucking memory shot. Because I remember Jewel's, this was 50 came out in 03, right? Get Rich came out in 03, right?
03.
Kanye came out in 04. So this must have been college dropout era. But I heard that beat and I was like, there's no way Kanye did that shit. I knew from that moment his range. His range was fucking insane, bro.
When I heard Get By Talib,
Insane.
game over.
What a great fucking song.
You go listen to it now.
It's still great.
You still get hype when you hear that the sample, the everything.
Everything, bro.
And then the fact that he took all that, wasn't getting put on, and went and did his own thing, produced his own album, rapped on it.
What the arrogance of that prick, huh?
I guess.
No, he's dope. He's dope. His story to me is so crazy because I do remember running through my street team days, early Dipset days when I was in NY. He was trying his hardest to get on.
He really was.
Like, he was putting mixtapes out like Cam and Dipset. And I remember, I can't remember the young lady's name. She used to work at Def Jam. But she was trying her hardest to, like, get him out. And people wasn't paying attention. But I remember she gave me a CD. It was Get Well Soon. It was the mixtape that came out after he broke his jaw.
Yep.
I was like, this motherfucker, Kanye's next, bro. And sure as shit, bro. His influence is crazy. I was talking to the guys at the barbershop. Shout out to the Barber Lounge. Some of the guys are very upset about Kanye. They like they disown him now.
As a human though.
And they like everything. They're like, yo, I'm not gonna listen to him no more. And they asking me like, yo, Vinny, you still gonna listen to Kanye? I say, yes, bro. Like,
absolutely.
Why wouldn't I? He's like, oh, he's crazy. Okay. Michael Jackson was insane. Love that guy. Still listen to music.
Are crazy.
Like, come on now, bro.
But
so top 5 again. Let's run through it.
Preem.
Ninth.
Kanye. No. And the 5, man, it's interchangeable. It's how I feel.
Yeah, I feel that.
You could put Pete Rock in there. You could put Dilla in there.
Okay.
You could put Dre in there. You could put Scott Storch in there. You could put
Havoc.
Madlib, Havoc. Havoc.
So
Underrated.
That whole sound of Mobb Deep was Havoc. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You could put Alchemist up there.
Yeah.
You can put.
So, let's do you the top 5 like all time. Do you have a top 5 now? Like maybe some younger cats or some guys coming up on the scene that you think have changed the game a little bit?
So Ill Mind is one of the ones. You talk.
Yo, I did not know he did some shit for 50.
He did Drake 50.
What was that album we was talking about a couple weeks ago, man? When I know we was talking about G Unit a while. This was a while ago, but we was talking about G Unit and remember the Kanye versus 50 shit?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What was that album? Was it Curtis?
Yeah, it was Curtis.
Did Illmind do something on Curtis?
He did something I think on both of those albums, if I'm not mistaken.
It's something about 50 with them dark, grimy fucking records, bro. Like,
Yeah.
he's insane with it, bro. But that's dope. Who else? Who else on the new? Like some of the newer producers. Who? Anybody influence you on that level?
The whole everyone in Griselda's camp. Conductor
Derringer?
Williams, Derringer, Beat Butcher, those cats. Derringer he brought hip hop, the boom bap back to the forefront. And
I'm curious what I know that Drake's working with Conductor, and
he put out 2 tracks already.
I love Drake on Conductor beats, bro.
The Me and My Brother,
Whatever them 2 joints were on the album.
the joint he dropped when his kid was rapping at the end.
Yeah, wasn't that off? What was Drake's last album? Not this past one, but the one
For
before
the
that.
dogs.
For the dogs.
Yeah.
Bro.
He had 2 on there.
I'm curious because I think Drake's producer, 40,
40,
He's
put 40 in there.
amazing.
I'll put 40 up there.
and I think if 40 can kind of bleed some influence into Conductor's been around a long time.
He's old cat. Yeah, he's old.
But I would love to see how that meshes with Drake on it.
Man,
That might be an interesting sound, bro.
because 40. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I have
40.
I have a whole folder on my computer, just beats for Drake. I got a whole folder, just beats for Cole. You know what I mean?
You ready? The opportunity
those
comes.
ready. Someone's
I
like,
got a file for you, G.
someone's like, yo, Drake needs some beats. He's getting like 60, 70.
That's fire, bro.
Easy. You know, 40 sound was crazy. The underwater sound, the harmonies, the sampling, the 90s joints. Like,
Yeah.
because, you know, we grew up hip hop. They were sampling 80s, 70s. To see it continuing, so now cats are sampling songs from the 90s and the 2000s. It's
40,
crazy.
I don't think 40 gets a lot of credit.
He
man.
doesn't. He really
Drake
doesn't.
shit. I know Drake's a superstar and like he's out of here, but like, bro, his production. One of the things we was talking about it last week. I haven't been a fan of Drake's previous, like the last few albums, but I always listen to Drake's albums from front to back because of the production.
Have to.
It's so fucking good, bro. Like, he always has great production.
Because a lot of those beats switch.
And 40's the genius of it, man.
A lot of those beats switch. You're like, oh, half of this beat.
I think that's dope.
The Tuscan leather.
When did that shit first start? Because the first time I noticed it was Life is Good. That was the first time I really like noticed it because Future came through. It was one beat and then Drake jumped on there and it switched up. But that's the first time I ever like seen that shit, and now it's more prevalent. You know what I'm saying? But was it before that? Did you notice it before that? I just think it's dope. That's dope as fuck.
I know
what I'm saying?
M does that.
Yeah.
M, like when he features, if you listen to some of the tracks he's on,
It's a completely different beat.
M almost abuses it though.
It's a little bit too much because he'll take a portion of it.
So?
And whoever his producer is,
think so?
they just make a whole different beat, and they're like, okay, and then he raps 32 bars, 64 bars, and then it jumps back into like that track with Joyner.
Yeah, that's true. That's right.
It completely whoever made that,
the one with
somebody else made
with
it.
JID. With
Yeah.
Fuel. Bro, I was pissed that he switched that up.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it because I think it's the meshing of the two.
absolutely.
Because M is like out of here, bro. Like, and kind of with Future and Drake too. They're completely different guys, different artists. You know what I'm saying? Like,
especially the JID one. That one hurt me.
First person
Because it's
shooter, switch, beat
bro,
switch.
that's true. Yeah.
Like,
But it's a dope dynamic.
it's dope.
You get something for half of it, and then you get like bars the next one. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So now, like, I make my beats like that. Like, I'll make something trap and then drop it and then bring in a hip hop beat or something like that. Because I watch a lot of beat battles, and you can't just play a beat. It's this the whole time. You know what I mean? You got to switch it up.
I know.
And I won the Gathering of the Nations beat battle with all beats that I made like the week of, and I was like, okay. So I started watching all these cats. I'm like, how do these beats need to sound? Switch up. You give them 2 beats in one thing with one sample.
That's it.
They're like, we can't.
They're going
we
crazy.
Can't mess with this.
Yeah.
Can't
We
compete.
can't mess with this. You know what I'm saying?
That's fire.
That's
bro.
that's
a
the
cheat
beat
code.
switches. Oh,
For sure.
easy.
No, that's one thing I really enjoy about. You know who else is dope at that too? I want to give him his props. The Dream. And Tricky Stewart.
Yo,
I don't know if
the
you
Dream as a producer,
underrated
top 10.
songwriter too.
Top 10. Oh yeah,
Songwriter,
absolutely.
too.
Well, he wrote a lot of stuff that other artists did.
Yeah.
And you look at who wrote some of these songs, you're like, the Dream wrote this.
I know. My wife's a big Beyonce fan.
Yeah.
And I get technical, like T-Rap knows, and you know too, and I'm pretty sure Grizz knows. Like, when the album comes out, I don't care who it is. Like, I'm reading credits.
Yeah.
I'm diving into it, bro. Like, I wanna know everything about it. And I think this is around the time, like, I think Beyonce just dropped the album. It was like, no one knew it was coming out. She just dropped it. So the credits took a while to come.
Yeah.
And the Dream did a lot of that album and those transitions, brother. And then her last album, not the country album, but the album before that, same thing, is like, he's a fucking master at that. Yeah. And he writes incredibly. Drake, I've just found out that Drake did a couple of joints on the Beyonce album. He wrote,
as a writer?
Of
course
oh my
he did,
God, bro. Some of my favorite Beyonce records. I'm like, bro.
Why are you surprised?
But okay, wait.
I ain't surprised, bro.
Did Drake write those?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to ask you about Drake.
Okay.
It's now that we're talking about Drake. My guy Grizz here, he's a Drake fan.
I'm a Drake fan.
I'm a Drake fan too.
I'm a Drake fan through and through.
However, I'm a Drake fan, but I as I'm a fan of a lot of guys, I'll give you the criticism where criticism's due.
Absolutely.
Same thing with Kendrick. Same thing with Cole. How do you feel about Drake not writing his raps during this era, but being able to pen records for Beyonce and records for, you know, this guy and this guy? Like, do you think that he should be chastised for his pen, or you think it's strong enough?
Well, okay, so did we ever get full, receipts that he wasn't writing that?
Which one? What are we talking
Anything
I'm
that
talking more specifically the Quentin Miller situation.
The Quentin Miller situation.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, we're talking about reference tracks, right?
Right.
We're talking about, but what artist hasn't been written for? Is a lot of artists in every genre of music have accepted music,
there's people
and
out
then
there
not
that-
only
that's all they
that,
do
but
is make
you can't
records.
say that Drake hasn't proven his pen
Right.
game.
No,
For sure.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
You say that a lot.
All right, I'm gonna tell you this.
I'll tell you what I said after you go, Jay.
There was a track, "Think Good Thoughts," that Drake put out. Ninth beat, Anita Baker sample.
It's an old one, right? That's
Old song. This was the Replacement Girl days
Yeah,
of Drake.
yeah.
You know what I mean? This was fresh. this was
Yeah, that's
fresh.
all that's-
This was fresh out the wheelchair
Yeah.
days. You know what I mean? Like Drake, I don't think he had people writing for him, and he was spitting. He
bro,
was-
that first, the Room for Improvement
Yeah,
mixtape,
fire.
Have you heard? You listened to it?
I have
don't think
that.
you've listened to it. The Room for Improvement,
Yeah.
bro. Get out of here. You and listen to that. Tell me he can't spit. You
Listen,
tripping
I've never said Drake can't spit. I've never said that.
or write?
But my thing is that my argument is that I can't put him in top tier because of that.
top tier writers or
Yeah.
top tier artists.
Just top tier MCs, bro. I can't put him up there.
Okay. Well,
I just can't. Because if
Well-
you got a ghostwriter, like imagine if Pac had a ghostwriter, would you feel upset?
No,
I mean, no.
But here's the counter
You don't think they
argument
were
to
ever
my-
sitting in a room and somebody contributed to his? Was like, oh, maybe say it like
That's
this, or
different, though.
maybe do it like
That's
this, or maybe
That's mad.
That's different though.
no, but the
that's
first.
not the whole song.
the
But he
first-
ain't like he wrote the whole
But
song.
like, yo, if somebody's like, oh, don't say fuck, say shit here.
Bro, but we all know, like, so if you give me a piece, a piece of, like, he gave him a reference track, he knows, like, oh, this shit's gonna be fire if I put it out. Why wouldn't you fucking put it out?
No, I'm
Why
not
wouldn't
arguing
you
that.
put it out? It's not like
Because
they
I
write
look at-
all his music.
Here's why I look at Drake. I
You're
put Drake
tripping.
in the same.
Like-
Listen, hear me out. Hear me out. I put Drake in the same category as a Kanye because he's R&B and rap together.
Okay. Okay.
So I don't get mad that Kanye don't write his own rhymes because Kanye don't. Right? I don't get mad at Dr. Dre when he don't write his rhymes because he don't.
or make his own beats.
Right. So I put kind of Drake in that same category where it's like, you're great. We love you. We respect you. We know your pen game is like, bro, Drake's pen game is amazing, bro. I sat here and said, bro, when he did the battle with Kendrick, bro, he's
So what are you saying then? What is the problem?
I'm trying to tell you. I just want his perspective on, am I wild? Am I bugging out? Am I on a spaceship with King Bao? In regards to saying that that Drake can't be put in the top tier of lyricists because he had a ghostwriter. Am I tripping? Am I being too much of a purist from a fellow purist? You could tell me no on my own show. I ain't gonna get mad at you. I just want to know: am I bugging out? Am I on a spaceship? Gris says I am. I can tell right now. He ain't gotta say nothing.
Drake's a different.
He's a different animal.
He's a different character. You know what I mean? I would. You could put him in there.
You could. Okay.
You could put him in there. I wouldn't discredit him. It hit. You may not be close to some of the others, but he's still in there.
Bro, he
There's-
impresses
there's
me. Man.
what?
He does. He really does.
There's-
There's points of Drake's where he really disappoints me, and then
Yeah.
he'll come around and be like, God damn it, Aubrey. That was fire, bro. That shit was fire. Just like the battle, bro. I love the battle, bro. I love the whole battle from top to bottom.
Absolutely.
Both sides, I love the whole thing. Because I think it forced Drake, too, to, like, kind of get competitive, right? Like,
It forced his pen.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Absolutely.
And
So I
Drake's
think at
pen
some
is to me, I think it's great, bro. I think it is.
in the heat of it, like if you know, gun to your head, he can do what needs to be done, 100%. Now, do we know who helped him? Do we know did Cole send him some verses? Cole's like, I'm gonna bow out, but use this. You know what I'm saying? Because some of that stuff,
Conspiracy theories, maybe?
some of that
What are you
stuff,
thinking?
go listen to it again. It has a little Cole-esque to it.
Uh-oh.
I'm just saying.
Uh-oh.
I break it down
I mean,
way too finely. You know what I mean? Go listen to some of those battles again.
yeah.
Each track.
You gonna make me listen to it again.
Listen to Cole's track.
I
and
got
then
a gym set for the battle.
just the battle.
I just do, yeah. That gets
I
me
like that.
hype, bro. That push-ups joint, that shit was fine. I was gonna send you actually last night. I found the actual first version of push-ups.
Yeah.
With the Junior Mafia sample. Did
Yeah.
you ever hear that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
I actually found it like it's not mastered, but it sounds better than the rip that they had. That version was super dope. Last couple of things before we jump into some of the topics. So, what you working on now? I know you said you did some shit with DZ. I know you told us off air. So you working with DZ? What are the projects or what are you kind of working on now?
So we got a project, the homie's second verse Jordan and Biz. Shout outs to them. We got a whole
That's
thing.
ASI, right?
No, they're Biz is UBR. He was UBR front runner.
Okay.
And then Jordan came up and he was around with the crew, but then they started doing their thing. But we got a whole album called The Book of Jason coming out, and it's just all my production.
Dope.
There's
You gonna put on DSPs?
Oh yeah.
Dope.
There's a group called Dios Mio. It's the homie Rage and the homie Cero. Whole album produced by me. And then Cali's got beats. You know, everyone got beats. Everyone's got beats. You know,
Sure.
It's just like, when are we gonna put these out?
Yeah.
But as far as music, I'm not in the industry or the music business to put out stuff. Sometimes I just want to vibe. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I need to hear a beat with this sample.
Yeah.
I'll make it. I'll listen to it in the car.
Yeah.
It doesn't hit.
You do it for
platform.
yourself.
Absolutely.
It's therapeutic.
And I think that's why I don't get locked in, is
Yeah.
because I make music that I like to listen to. You know what I mean? And I listen to everything from, you know, not a country fan, but everything in between. You know, I've been messing heavy with some K-pop recently. It's just like a trap, R&B, pop type of difference.
Yeah.
You know,
everything.
everything.
I'm a huge Afro beats guy.
Absolutely.
That's usually what I listen to during the day.
Yeah.
Like there's no rap before noon. You know what I'm saying? Type shit.
Yeah,
It's
vibes.
There's so much dope music coming out that I love how you're current. You listening to everything that's going on. I think that's important, especially being a producer, because you don't want to be locked into one section. You know what I'm saying?
And I got pop records, I got R&B records, trap, hip hop, boom bap.
That's fire, bro.
You know,
That's
everything.
That's why I remember when shout out to my brother Shame. I know Shame's got some shit coming out. Don't be surprised if he hits you, but
Absolutely.
we was talking about that same shit too. It was like when you want to get that influence, but you also want to kind of hear what's going on outside, right? Mm-hmm. And you are the point two guy, in my opinion, producer wise in the city. Like, if I know an artist needs something, but they don't know what it is, yo,
I'll give him whatever.
Jason got everything. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Shame. That Velvet Rope joint.
Insane, bro. I wish we could have cleared that shit. So I think that record got us in trouble with that Piff. I'm not gonna lie to you.
100%.
I've
You ain't
abused this.
sampling Janet like that.
Well, here's what happened. So I don't know if you got. I don't want to give out industry tactics or secrets to the young cats out there watching, because I do not suggest you do this shit, because litigation's a motherfucker, and if you don't got a lawyer, you're fucked.
You're fucked. Absolutely.
But I will tiptoe around this as best as I can. When we did that joint, we was messing with KP from Dat Piff. Fuck you too, KP. It's still fuck you. Give us that money you owe Patman, and you know we can help you with your new platform or whatever the fuck you trying to do. But we was rolling deep on Dat Piff. I had got a great promo partner, Blastless. We was doing bottom feeder. We had DJ Blast, the whole nine. Had a couple records on Shade 45 playing through Slay. A couple other DJs I was fucking with. Well, I think what happened was someone got a hold of it and they reported it.
And they heard it.
And fucking all the Shame shit got taken down. All of them joints, bro. Taken down Dat Piff. We couldn't get him back up. So I started fucking with Live Mixtapes, which is like another kind of Dat Piff sister site. And they put it up, and then I think it's still up there, but like that was an insane record you did for Shame, bro. It's one of my favorites, man.
Yeah, it wasn't hip hop at all.
No.
It wasn't.
And that's the shit that I love about Dollars, is because he raps and he's very technical in his raps.
Absolutely.
But he will fucking rap on anything, bro.
I don't know how he heard the beat or how I sent him the beat, but he's like, I need that. He's like that, and then he told me, he's like, that's the intro track, and I'm like, let's run it.
Insane, bro. Yeah, Dollars is working on some shit, man. I want to have him up here when he's ready. He's been hibernating, but he's been working, so I'm excited to have him up here.
He knows how to hit me up,
bro. When y'all two came together, it was magic. I want to talk a little bit about you're in this new endeavor now with the collectibles, right? I seen you grinding out there with the baseball cards, the football cards. Tell me a little bit about what got you into that. Something from your childhood that you sparked back, or
yeah, man,
someone introduced it to you?
My mom was always working, so it was just me and my sister. We would go to my aunt's house, and my cousin, we would go in his room, and this cat had Star Wars toys, all in boxes, all over. And just seeing that, I always thought about it in life. I'm like, one of these days I'm gonna have a room just full of toys,
Yeah.
not open, just collecting them. So I would say maybe a few years before COVID, I started getting into the Funko Pops. So I would get like,
oh yeah, I seen you post them a lot. Yeah.
I had all the hip hop artists. I had the Bigs, the Tupacs, the TLCs, everything. Stuff that I was like, oh, this is Ninja Turtles, stuff that I grew up on. Kobe, whatever. And then, then I started, of course, getting back into wrestling. Started getting some figures of wrestling. And yeah,
big market for that, bro.
Big market, huge market for both of those. And then they just kind of fell stagnant, and it like everything started dropping. Market started dropping. Then I started like seeing this card thing, sports cards. I was like, oh, I got some basketball cards in my closet. I got some this and that because we used to collect all that as a kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I pulled some out and I was like, oh, let me see if I got anything. Nothing. So one day I just remember I was like, I have too much shit here, too much stuff on the walls. It's just dust, literally.
Clutter, yeah.
So I found someone and I traded almost my whole collection for sports cards. And then I was like, okay. And then I started looking up value, what kind of stuff there was out there, signed cards, all that stuff. Started selling some stuff on eBay. And then I would say within the last year or so, I got introduced to like the card shows. So, going to these shows, setting up and, going to talk to them. Hey, you want to buy this?
Trade, swap,
all
sell.
of that. And then I got introduced to the other side of the table, selling that stuff. So, yeah, I would say maybe the last 8-9 months has just been full grinding on card selling. Every aspect of it, and it's treating me well.
It was dope, man.
It's treating me well,
that's
man.
Dope. That's dope. Yeah, no, that's a big market. I see. I shit you not. I got a son. He's 6 years old. I take him to the toy section here and there when we go to the store. I don't see no kids in that motherfucker. I see grown ass men in that motherfucker.
Absolutely.
He wanted something recently, and I wanted to punch this motherfucker in his face. My wife had to tell me to chill. We was at Target, and my son wanted something. It was like a Pokemon thing. He didn't really need it, and like I was trying to tell him, like, nah, bro, you ain't getting none, because he's got this thing in him. Every time we go to the store, he wants to get something.
Yeah,
like, bro, no. And I was kind of entertaining. I was like, it's pay week or whatever. I'll get you something. You've been good. He picks up the thing, and then I think he puts it back because he wants something else. And then he changes his mind and he comes back. And I'm literally like, my son and this grown man are coming together. And the grown fucking man takes the thing. And I'm like, yo, son, that's ours. And I started thinking about it. I was like, and he was very upset about it, this grown man. So I started thinking, like, I see red, of course. I'm ready to punch this motherfucker, Tyson his eye. And then I went back home, smoked a blunt on it, and I was like, yo, this motherfucker that's probably his rent money. Because that's what these guys do. They hustle the toys, you know what I'm saying? They hustle them on eBay or whatever. Scalping motherfuckers. What's high priority now? Is it the cards nowadays, or is it the figures and the toys and things like that? Yeah.
I mean, Pokemon market is, I think it's above Microsoft right now.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's up
for
there.
Real?
It's wild. If you look at like stocks and markets and stuff, that business part of it, it's on a rise.
Who owns Pokemon? Nintendo?
No, Pokemon is owned by whoever created Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
The
like
cat
Nintendo didn't go buy that shit, no?
No, they had a business with them, but Nintendo doesn't own them.
Oh, I see. Oh, they probably got a license. Nintendo probably licensed that shit. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, the market is insane. Sports cards is huge,
But I see the wrestling figures now are going for top dollar too. Like I seen
$20-$30.
Yeah, they're expensive,
if not more.
So my son's been into wrestling now, which is funny because me and you grew up on that ECW, that violent shit.
That was a wild time.
That was insane, bro. How did our parents let us watch that shit?
How they got away with having that on TV is beyond me. Man. Naked girls, blood.
That was a shit knives.
Bro. It was that one dude that almost killed a guy, right? He's a black guy. It's on a documentary. He threw him off the fucking building or something like that. They're like, and then it was like a big old controversy, like what's entertainment, what should be allowed, and
that was entertainment.
Oh, bro, threw his ass off the damn top of the roof, bro. Like 2 stories, 3 stories. Dropped
your
this
mom's
dude,
too.
bro.
She let us get them pay-per-views too, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We get lit.
My mom's like, "Where you going this weekend?" Yo, I'm going to Jason's crib. Why? I say, "Yo, it's pay-per-view time."
We gotta watch it. We gotta see someone get stabbed or.
Oh, it was
something crazy.
I remember one time New Jack came out with it was like a blade, but it was like a curved blade.
Yeah.
He's over here blading people's foreheads. pizza cutters.
And if you remember him, I think he passed. Rest in peace.
Yeah, I think so too.
You remember his head?
Yeah,
it was all fucked up.
Blading.
Yeah.
Dusty
That dude was
Rhodes,
a
all those
menace.
cats, man.
A
He was a
fucking
wild
menace,
dude.
bro.
he was crazy.
But the fact they got away with putting that on TV, on TNT, I remember, or TNN.
Oh yeah, TNN. It was the
Watching
Redneck Network.
Yeah.
Remember they used to have like fishing and shit. Like why do you got fishing before
And then
wrestling?
it went straight to Extreme Championship Wrestling. Nah, man,
was
we
it.
shouldn't have been watching that.
Nah, I loved it though, man. So I let my son watch it. I let him watch one of the matches with the Dudleys and
Edge and Christian.
no, it was in ECW. I think it
Oh,
was
okay.
Dreamer and Sandman.
Man,
And my son's like, why is he lighting things on fire? So then he starts seeing lighters around the crib. And I'm like, you better not be lighting nothing on fire, bro. You know what I'm saying? This ain't ECW.
flipping off
But it's
tables.
crazy, like, you know, and I gotta tell him, like, hey, this is, you know, this is like a dance. Like they don't really hate each other. It's just a show. It's like a movie. I tell them, you know what I'm saying?
It's,
I've been
it's
telling
the
my
longest
kids,
running soap opera there's been.
I tell my kids that all the time, especially like my daughter when she was little, she wanted to watch it for some reason.
Like, all right.
And my other brother, he was like, yo, don't let them watch that. And I was like, yo, I just tell him it's make believe. And he never got scared. Thank God. Like my son didn't really get scared because I tell him it's just a show. Like, you know, it's just a movie. I need to holler at you because I have ECW figures that are sealed from the
back in
first
day?
run.
Oh, I'm taking all those.
So
I'm taking all those.
Hey, we might have to kind of give you a percentage of some. I gotta get rid of them.
I'll buy them straight up.
yeah,
whatever market is.
I gotta fucking get rid of them, bro, because they're just in a box, bro, collecting dust. They fucking in my shed. I gotta get.
Yeah, see,
I got Ninja Turtle figures. I don't know if those are worth anything, but like the original,
I'm
they still got
pretty
the
sure.
price tag on them. They're $3.99.
I'm
from
pretty
the-
sure
from-
they're
whatever
worth
y'all
something.
got,
Bro.
from the 90s.
Jay's like, I'll take
I'll
it.
flip all of it. I promise you. I know someone who knows someone that we
That's
get
dope.
rid of everything.
That's dope, man. I'm glad you kind of branching off too. You know, getting other revenue streams is
Oh,
important.
bro, for
you
sure.
know. I
Yeah.
think that you know, obviously I'm blessed to be up here with the Hydro Bar. We got a situation here with them, and them. You can't just really, especially nowadays with the economy the way it is, you can't just focus on one piece, right? You gotta have a foundation somewhere, right? You just gotta build on top of that. So, I salute you. I'm proud of you for doing that shit, man, because I know
man.
it's something you want to do. It's a passion, right? So,
Well, you an influence too, man. You do. Ever since I known you, you've been doing something with somebody,
I'll be
making
trying,
some
man.
sort of moves.
Trying, man. I always been. You know what it is I think my family is known for doing illegal activities and getting locked up. So the hustle is in me.
Absolutely.
I just couldn't do what they did. I just couldn't, bro. Because I watched it all the time. I was like, yo, why is my dad in jail again? Like, why? You like it there? Like, what the fuck? And my cousin's always getting in trouble. So I had to go the hip hop route because that's what changed my life. Same thing with you. It's like, bro, when shit wasn't working out in my life, I was like, yo, I'm throwing this CD on, you know, or this album on.
Yeah.
I'm getting away from this shit. You know what I mean?
I went to jail 18. I think I was 4 months into being 18.
Really? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Really?
man. MDC is chilling.
Damn, how long were you there for?
2.5 weeks.
Fuck, bro. The worst, huh?
They put me in felony pod. 'cause
F-pod?
They threw me in there, and because I was in on misdemeanor, you know, little green charge, you know, a little something.
It was just for the green.
They got my name wrong. My last name, so they thought I was somebody else.
Oh,
So
shit.
they treated me horrible. They threw me in F-pod.
You saw him?
Oh yeah, absolutely. As soon as he left, but well, I mean, you get restitution. You get X amount of dollars. They give you the money. You have to pay the lawyer. Lawyer was like $2,500. They give you $3,000, and then Mom Duke, she's like, you did this to me. you did this to me. So she took the $500, and I was like, all I got was to stay in jail.
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
it. Didn't get
Yeah.
nothing from it. But yeah, man, don't
Same thing.
going to jail changed me. I'm not.
Fuck that.
Yeah,
Any-
bro.
any-
Anytime in jail make you never want to be there again,
You know what's
bro.
fucked up when I was a kid too? So my grandfather, he died in jail, federal prison. And every time my birthday came around, there was always a phone call, and he was like, "You got a call from a federal?" You know what I mean? So it was like, bro, I just didn't want no parts of that shit, bro. And I appreciate you saying that though, because like I had to find something, and I think for me, I always want to find something within hip hop, but I also want to understand the business because I'm wondering how these guys making all this money. Then you come to find out that there's really not no money in this shit on the artist level. It's all these white suits and blue collars up at the labels.
Oh yeah, artists.
Then you get discouraged and you got to find other avenues. You know what I'm saying? So
I hear all these stories about these artists' first advance for their albums, their first projects, and they end up owing money.
it's insane.
They're not making. They could sell 1 million records. That's just the million that you have to pay back that you got in advance, and then you're not really eating. So that it paints a picture of like, oh, are these artists really talking about what they, being about what they talk about?
They're not.
They're not.
They're not.
They're not. But I mean, hey, that's the business. Someone's gonna believe it.
They look for those people. I tell artists now. I'm gonna drop a little short on YouTube probably tomorrow on Monday. But we had this conversation with Fragile Boy. He was up here. He's an up and coming Latin R&B cat.
He's nice too.
He's dope, man. He's
nice
super dope. And I was telling him, I'm like, bro, go take out a loan.
Yeah.
You got a business, take out a loan, LLC, or not take a personal loan if you got a 9-to-5 or whatever, and invest in yourself.
Yep.
Because that money that you're looking for, those labels are looking for you to come with your hand out. It's a predatory system. You know what I'm saying? Because the interest rates on these label deals are fucking insane, bro.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's insane. It's above 50%.
I just filed the LLC for my car business.
Dope.
So we can put merch out. We can do all that stuff.
Nah, that's dope, man.
As an
Salute to you
entity
for
now.
doing it. That's the way. That's the way it should be. And I think sometimes a lot of artists get caught up in the smoke and mirrors of the game, of the visual side of things, and they don't really understand that to get to that spot, it takes a lot of hard work, and there's a lot of smoke and mirrors is the best way to put it. It ain't what it appears to be.
If an artist could just drop music and that was it, there'd be. I mean, there's thousands of artists out there that you hear and you're like, why are you even doing this?
You know what's crazy? When I was working with TuneCore, they used to tell me every day, they was like, shout out to TuneCore, I think they told me like 50,000, maybe not that much, maybe it's like 20,000 songs get uploaded a day.
Absolutely.
Of just people making music. And none of them motherfuckers are friends with the people that can put you in the algorithm. So it's just out there. It's just floating there. No one looks at it. And that's what I hope changes, within the industry, is that whatever these platforms might be, short and long term, that they find a fucking way to kind of, I don't know, maybe do a regional thing like how radio used to be. Like, you're in this region, I hear some artists that can throw them an algorithm. That way people can, stream and make their bread.
Put that together. That's on you. That's
Jay-Z tried to do it and everybody shit on Jay, which was hurt. That hurt me because Jay was really trying to help the artists, man. He really was like, yo, I'm giving y'all a platform. Then Nicki Minaj want to do her thing and fuck that up. And a lot of people just didn't see the vision, unfortunately. But, hey, man, I would love to do it. Last question I have for you. Now I want to jump into some topics, man. You down to jump into some topics?
Absolutely.
We might have to go crazy on them, but
I'm ready.
What's your advice that you have for a young producer or a young DJ here, not only in the city, but just out there that's maybe starting, wants to be a DJ, wants to be a producer? What kind of advice you have from a veteran like you?
Have passion for it. You got to have passion for anything that you do. Don't expect to make millions of dollars off the bat. There's stories, Cat was at the right place at the right time, but 90% of the people out here that are producers, artists, they ain't gonna make it.
Yeah.
Have a backup plan. Have something else to do to where you can come back to it. And like I said, I make beats for me sometimes. I don't let nobody hear them. I just make them because I wanted to hear it.
Yo, this guy got a hard drive full of heat. He's like, yo, it's mine, son. You gonna Kanye us?
Bro, I have thousands of beats that no one's ever heard, that if they heard, they're like, oh, like I said, every type of genre, everything.
Yeah, that's dope.
It's for me. You know what I mean? I'm not here trying to get on. The music seems too hard to get on. It's unless you have the right artist, the right moves, that's why I don't even really like working with people anymore.
It's I think now the industry's changed so much that I told Fragile this last week. It's like when you get your block hot, then they come.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna get your block hot and you let them pump on your block, you're a fucking idiot because you don't need them. We made that mistake, with Pap when he signed a job for $1.5 million. That was the fucking worst mistake we made as a crew because we chased the bag and it killed the buzz. But that's what Job was there for, is that we didn't need them. Pap was the hottest motherfucker in the streets, bro, for 2 years plus independently.
Absolutely.
We was selling the artwork. The CD was free for promotional use only. We was out there doing our thing by ourselves, bro. We didn't need no fucking label. And then once you think you need them because they have all the resources, they end up coming and, sabotaging, and they do all this funny shit because, people in high places don't want you to succeed, or they could perceive you as a threat. So don't play that game. Be independent. do the shit you want to do.
Yeah, do what you want to do.
Yeah, you know, make the sound you want to make, and you keep pushing through with your passion, like Jay said, you're going to go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Learn the business, read books, talk to veterans that are in the game, and the internet's fucking free.
The music's the easy part.
Easy part.
It's everything else behind that you got to actually learn and actually study on to make it. Anyone can make a track. We could all sit down right now and make a song.
Yo, me and Chris got an idea. We might want you to produce it. Yo, he's got an insane idea. And we could do it. I'm telling you, it's going to be the #1 record in the fucking world. I guarantee it. Remember that idea you had? I ain't going to say it on live on air.
Yeah, bro.
We going to make that happen, though.
Yeah, dog.
Because why? The dumb is intrigued by the drum. But, yeah, I appreciate you coming up here, man. And I think that, again, we need guys like you, not only in my space. And you always got an outlet, too. So one thing I always tell people come up here, we good behind the scenes, but you got a project you want to push. Your guys, the album coming out.
Yeah. Yeah,
they all got seats in here. Let's come through and you guys promote up here. And let people know what you're working on. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Grizz, we got some topics, man.
Yo, yeah, let's go, bro. Man? Hey, look, man. First of all, we were talking about this before we came and before we started the interview. We were already going back and forth about this. But Jim Jones thinks he's better than Nas, bro. I know this is a big right. Cap, thank you. A little bit close to home. Rest in peace, Takeoff. Because you were close to, those are your people, right?
Yeah, I love Jim.
Dipset, right?
I think Jim is a
And no disrespect to him as a human, but he's not better than Nas.
Right, I agree.
At all.
But
it's not even close.
Here's what we was talking about.
He's
I guess first and foremost, what's your take?
It's crazy.
y'all give y'all take, and then
He's not even the best in Dipset. He's not beating Cam.
Okay.
How are you gonna say you're better than Nas?
Or Jewels.
Right.
Either.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
At all, dog.
Y'all keep spitting, and then I'm gonna come in and say what I say. What else? What else you got on your fucking check? What else we talking about? Okay, so let me be clear. He said he was better than Nas in what capacity?
He said, "Look at the numbers." He was like telling them to look at. He said,
"Look at the charts."
Look at the
He retract that statement though. He said he
did.
Boo-boo.
Yeah.
Okay. But still, it's
So-
like, yo.
Let me read some of these. Let me read some of these. The comments on the article. Okay, Mr. Jones, I've gone ahead and done just that. Check the charts.
Lord Jamar.
Nas has had 27 songs chart on Hot 100 with 2 top 10 hits and 26 chart on Hot Rap songs with 11 top 10 hits and 2 number ones. Right? Jim Jones has had 2 songs on the Hot 100. The last one was in 2009 and 1 top 10 hit with 0 number ones.
Yeah, he didn't hit number 1.
Right?
I think the highest he got was like 5.
Right. You've got 3 songs with 2 top 10 hits and not a single number 1. Nas has beat you in every category, yet this is a quote from the article, yet it's your bum ass who brought this up to begin with. No one gives a fuck about your failed chart performance except for you.
I don't think Jim brought it up, though. So I want to be clear on that. I don't think Jim just came out and said, yo, I'm better than Nas. Someone set him up for that.
Someone said, yo, you think you're better than Nas? And he said, yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy should say that.
But I also think, like, you watch a sports interview, and a sports interview is like, you know, take, I don't know if y'all watch football, but take Shador Sanders, for example, right? He went to the Browns. Browns, they have a quarterback situation. They're competing for quarterback, right? When they interviewed the existing quarterback right now, he don't say, I'm shitting on Shador Sanders. He ain't got a chance of being in this spot. I'm taking it from him. I'm the best. He says, hey, look, he says he's a great athlete. He's great. He's got a lot of talent. I'm excited to be working with him. I'm happy that he's on the team. He's bringing a lot of value to the squad. Like, he brings a lot of benefit to our team, right? He didn't say, oh, fuck that motherfucker, I'm way better. Okay. You know what I'm saying? There's another way you could have handled. It's another way you could have handled it, right? Right. It's another way, like dropping fake money on the stage. Like, get out of here, bro.
So
it was real money, but faking dropping money on the stage and pretending like you didn't mean to do it.
So
that's some bullshit.
Me and my wife have been having this debate all week, so I'm gonna have it with y'all. And again, y'all can say I'm on a spaceship, tell me I'm not. I don't really give a fuck. But here's my angle on it. Nas is highly regarded as the greatest MC to touch a mic, period. We're talking about, he wrote Illmatic at 18, bro. Mm-hmm. That album is still crazy today. when you listen to it, right? And Nas has had such an incredible journey to the point where he's solidified legendary status, no question. Now, if I'm going to sit here and say Jim Jones versus Nas,
that's not a versus I'm trying to
it's not a versus that
Right.
I'm going to even entertain because Nas going to blow him out the water. That's just the fact. However, the narrative on this situation that I'm upset with is that these commenters and these people's in the comments, and maybe y'all have this sentiment, do not discredit Jim Jones's impact on his game.
I'm not never going to say that.
And because Jim is at this stage of his career where he's outside, he's competing with the young guys, he's helping the young guys, but he's also the only one from his era actively putting out music.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, Jim started this independent game on the East Coast.
Yeah.
He learned it from the South. He adopted it.
Yeah.
One of the biggest guys on Koch.
He had a huge impact on Coney Island.
Stop this.
You know, I mean, shit, dog. We all know that.
That's
We all know that.
Jim independent. Like, everybody after Jim followed suit on being independent. He was the
Okay.
first guy to do it. I'm talking selling them the mixtapes out the trunk type thing like the down south cats was doing. He made that a New York thing because New York didn't know what to do. Look at that on a fashion level. This guy's super, super, super influential on the fashion side.
He's always in a fucking wife beater with his braids all brushed
Bro,
out.
I don't think you realize when Jim came in the game, when Dipset came in the game, everybody wanted to dress like them. Everybody had that fashion sense. Then it became, who made Ed Hardy hot? Jim Jones.
that's not saying that's.
I'm just saying, who made Ed Hardy
Thank you.
hot? Jim Jones.
You rocking Ed Hardy?
No, I never rocked it.
Stop.
I wasn't
Right.
into that biker shit. But I'm just trying to tell y'all, take your bias out of it and realize that Jim needs to be put.
You talk from a different perspective because you're from out there, bro. You spent time out there. You're like, everybody was influenced. I fucking wasn't.
All right.
I didn't want to dress like
I
no
was gonna say-
motherfucking
I was gonna say,
Jim Jones, bro. What the fuck?
Take knowing people out, take being from where people are from.
I am. Because
Put
let me-
yourself in a New Mexico cat.
I
Who
can't.
are you influenced more by?
What, a fucking Baby Bash?
Chill out, bro.
Okay.
A fucking Frankie J? Get
That's
the fuck
yeah,
out
that's
of here.
crazy.
Let me tell you something.
That's wild.
Jim
Thank
Jones.
you, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah.
What'd he say?
That's wild.
He said that's wild, bro.
That's wild.
Frankie J, you're tripping,
No,
bro.
I'm saying, look,
Baby
no
Bash.
disrespect to Baby Bash, Frankie J, but what I'm trying to paint the picture for y'all is that I'm not saying Jim is better than Nas. I never say that.
Okay.
But people shouldn't be coming at Jim acting like he ain't got no accolades. Because at the end of the day, Jim is, in my eyes, in the last 20, 25 years being an artist, he's been super influential, Doug.
Baby Bash had
but
more
it's
hits
who-
than Jim Jones.
Thank you. Yeah, for real, dog. Yeah.
But what are we
But
really
it's-
talking
but
about?
it's
See,
the
that's
name.
why I think this conversation becomes a slippery slope because Nas was talking about numbers. Or I'm sorry, Jim was talking about numbers. And then now everybody's talking about, will he win in a battle or in a versus? Like, what are we talking? I'm talking about holistically, bro. Like, don't shit on Jim Jones.
I don't.
I can't.
I didn't never shit
I
on
won't.
Jim Jones ever. I didn't never.
But in that same sense, Jim Jones is not even in top 20.
So
Thank
here's
you.
what I do like about Jim. And let me be honest with y'all. This is where I side with Jim on because I love this side of an artist and I love this side of a guy that still competes and still pushes his pen. Jim's pen game has accelerated over the last 5 to 6 years. When Jim first came out, it was like, yeah. As you said, he wasn't the best member of Dipset. I could agree with you on it. But he's been the only guy the last 10 plus years, or at least the last 10 years, that have carried that Dipset banner and put out consistent good music. When you put on a Jim Jones album, it's a good experience musically. You're going to get dope records. You're going to get introspectful joints. You're going to get fire records. Right? Wrong? No? Y'all don't agree with me on that?
I haven't
Like,
put on a Jim
entire-
Jones record in a
entire-
long time.
yeah.
Yo, from Jim Jones' El Chapo album
That
to
was-
this last
that
album,
was a fire.
Jim's been on a run. And to me, to go out there and say, I am. Anybody, he said it, I heard Jim say, anybody in my era, I'll put a stack on it. You can't fuck with me. I'm better than you.
Lloyd Banks destroying Jim
Okay.
in a day.
All right, cool.
All day.
I want to
Every
see
way,
it.
shape, and form.
And guess what? If Jim's not saying that, then Jim needs to go retire.
You're not
I
wrong.
mean,
you are not wrong.
Exactly.
In that-
So that Jim has that energy that I love because Jim's so confident in his capability. He'll take on Nas. He'll take
but
on
why-
Jay.
but why?
He'll
That's-
take on
That's like
Cam. He'll
Ja
take anybody.
Rule, bro. That's like Ja Rule has that same energy, and Ja Rule sucks.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
Ja Rule sucks.
I
That's
mean, he
crazy.
didn't. back in the day. No, Ja Rule had good music, but I'm just saying like now,
When
like
did he suck?
for Ja Rule for Ja Rule to be like, oh yeah, bro, Ja Rule is no good now. I didn't say back. I'm not talking about right now. I mean, I'm not talking about back in the day. No, Ja Rule had real good music. I used to listen to Ja Rule till 50 came, and then I didn't listen to Ja Rule no more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, it wasn't no side to switch to. It wasn't no side to be on before Fit. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
still listen to Ja when he's beefing with 50.
oh, I put Ja Rule on now. But when
Listen.
I was 17, I wasn't putting him on.
If you're an MC making music right now, or a
No,
rapper
when
making
50
music
came
right
out, I wasn't.
now,
I was.
and you feel that someone's better than you, then you just need to stop. Shout out to my brother JT. We used to have this debate. Styles P said on a record, he said, Big is the only rapper I don't think that I'm better than. And he had a problem with that. And I said, I don't have a problem with it because every other rapper besides Big, rest in peace, he's going to shit on. Because he believes in himself. He believes that he is the best.
Styles P a better rapper than Jim Jones.
I agree.
Right.
But like to me, there's a point. If you're quote unquote active, if you're, let's just say a JID, and you're like, fuck everybody, fuck 21, fuck anybody new in the game, yeah. But you're talking about Nas, who's a legendary status. You can't. Like, you can't shit on Nas.
Right.
You can't shit on Nas.
I don't think he's shitting on him. Jim
Why
just
is,
said
why
I'm
is he
better
doing
than
this
you.
though?
Like,
why is he doing this? Is there an ulterior motive behind it?
I mean, there could be. There could be.
Is he trying to push a new record? Like what is he? What is
I
he
don't know.
doing right now?
I don't know. I don't-
Why come out and have this talk?
Well, it was an interview, right?
Right, I think
It was
he
an
was
it
with
was
Joe
an
and
it
Jada,
was
right?
an interview, and they were interviewing him, and then I think they put him on a spot or whatever, and so he defended himself, but at the same time, it's like that's like me being like, I'm fuck Usain Bolt, I'll beat the shit out of him in a foot race. I never would, I never could. Why would I even say that, bro? We're not even in the same universe. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, for me, I look at it, I guess from my lens, right or wrong, I'm looking at it as Jim being an MC, him being active and saying, yo, I've stepped my pen game up. I've been here. I'm the only one y'all talk about as it relates to Dipset. Where's Cam at? Where's Joel's at? Yo, no one can fuck with me. And if you want to fuck with me, I'll put a stack up because I'm that confident in my capability. I love that about
I'm gonna tell you
Jim.
this.
I love that
I
about
appreciate
Jim.
that because
I salute that.
really all artists should be like that.
Right.
Take note on that. Go.
Okay.
Hit hills. There's hills that you die on. Nas ain't that hill.
I agree.
So-
I
Right.
agree.
Nas ain't that
So
hill.
here's the quote or whatever.
I'm just taking
So-
the Nas comments to the side because we all know, we all in agreement. It's like, you're not messing with Nas.
So Jim Jones is claiming that he's more relevant in current or to the current generation of hip hop fans than Nas.
Okay. That could be a possibility.
That's not true either.
He's working with a lot of new artists now. I would assume that he would be at least in the conversation somewhat of some of the new artists. Like, he's working with Bass Swag. He's working with all these young cats. Why wouldn't he say that?
Yeah. I can
But-
see that. I can see that.
I know you're upset about it, and I
Like,
get it. You're a
bro,
Nas fan. I'm a Nas fan. I love Nas.
Like-
Nas can do no wrong in my book.
Bro, ever.
But I'm just saying, like,
Ever.
but you guys got to remember, too, that, like, early in Jim's career, like, you had the beef with Nas. Cam had the beef with Nas. Like, they all had beef with Nas when Jay was doing his thing. So, if you think about it, like, Nas came before them, and Dipset was that next generation. So, you got to think about it as a generational thing. Like, hey, maybe Jim feels like, y'all try to shit on me when I was on my come up. And now that I'm up here now, like, let's compete. Shit, I'm 50, you 50. Let's put a stack on it and let's go.
I mean,
That's
I'm down to
hip-hop to
see
me,
it.
bro.
If it
That's hip-hop to me, dog. I
if
love
it
it.
translates to something, I'm down to see it. I'm down to see what Jim got.
I just love that Jim is out there saying, yo, you can't fuck with me. And if anybody else feels that you can fuck with me on this mic, like, let's go. I love that. That was the only clip that I seen of Jim. I think he was on Bag Fuel, which is Math Hoffa's old squad. They got a podcast, a great podcast. And he was saying something like, yo, who wanted from my era? Like, let's go. So, shouts to Jim. I know he's got the album out. Nas got the Primo album coming out very, very soon. I'm very excited about that. As long as the conversation is going and no one's pulling guns on each other and shooting each other, I'm all for it. Let's do it.
I'm here for the debates. I'm here for the talks.
All it.
It's what
What
keeps
else we got, Grid?
what keeps the culture going.
Keeping with the Dipset theme, Cameron is announced that he's going to be writing a memoir.
Dope.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all heard about it,
No,
but
what's going on with that?
what's going to chronicle his essentially his run with Dipset, his rise to fame and shit. So
Is he gonna talk about basketball when he was playing ball? I would assume so.
I don't know. It sounds like it's gonna so essentially says it's gonna chronicle Dipset Legend's rise in hip hop and late career pivot to being a successful media personality with his own talk show.
Shout out to Cam.
Yeah, and that's why Cam isn't around, because he's doing other shit, because he's moved on. And
but, I mean, just to piggyback off of that, you're gonna tell me that he's not more relevant right now?
Who, Cam?
And more influential.
Yeah, Cam, absolutely. Yeah, most definitely. And the thing about this is the
same thing about Jim.
Jim
like,
is riding on. But he's
right there with him.
He's riding on his coattails, bro, because he knows that Cam is more relevant. He's in the public eye right now, and he's like, he has the podcast with Mace, right?
Yeah.
So
great podcast.
Yeah, I love it. But
it's amazing.
But this fool's always got something to say about Cam. In this article right here, it talks about an interview that he had done with Angela Yee, where he says that he wrote on every one of Cam's album. That he wrote.
Jim did?
Yes, that Jim Jones said, I helped him write every one of his albums. Every one of his albums, from his first album up to Come Home With Me. That's a direct quote from Jim, which is wild to me, right? Like, why would he need his help? And I don't hear no Jim Jones influence.
Jim said that?
Yes.
Where? On Angela Yee?
Sitting down for a chat with on Way Up with Angela Yee, wow. Jones said, I helped him write every one of his albums. Every one of his albums. Which is wild to me, because if you that relevant, you ain't gotta step on somebody else to get you you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's the type of shit he does consistently, and I don't fuck with that, bro. I don't like that shit at all.
I mean,
you're a hater, bro. You're a 55-year-old, 60-year-old man, bro.
I don't
like,
know, man. I wouldn't go that far. I think Jim has carved the path on his own, but I do think that there's that. You got to realize, I think, too, that them guys is brothers. Like, at the end of the day, they're going to always have that brotherly competition.
Man, if I ever have a brother like that, I'm going to kill him.
Jesus.
Yeah, bro.
Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, I get it. But the thing for me is, like, back to Cam's memoir. Get off the Jim Jones topic. I get what y'all coming from. I understand your position. I'm looking at it from an MC's perspective, and you want to compete, go out there and do your thing. You should never, any artist coming up, you should never let anybody tell you that you ain't the best. If you feel it, bro, go out there and show and prove. And if you're going to go out there and show and prove, there becomes consequences with that. And just make sure you can put the money up or put your bars up. And I think Jim's been showing and proving for a long time, and I salute Jim for that. I also salute Cam, because Cam's really going through this media position now, where I would buy a Cameron book.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
trying to see what's in it.
Yeah, most definitely.
And I would also watch a movie.
I was just going to say, that would be dope to see, like, a biopic or whatever.
Who's playing Cam?
I don't know, bro. Cam? Yeah. Right. He looked the same. Yo, Cam, I don't know if I think I probably told him, but I have a special place for Jim and Cam for different reasons. But for me personally, Cam was the one who gave me my nickname, Vinny. When I was doing street team, I had my backpack with me. It was the first time I had met Cam. And someone took my stapler, and I was pissed. And I was cursing. I'm an Italian kid. I'm cursing, fucking. And he says, yo, you remind me of Joe Pesci. He's like, you're Vinny now. And I was like, all right, cool. And I ran with it. But Cam is one of those guys that he's consistently put people on. And I feel bad for Cam to a point, because he's never really gotten to, like, thank you back in a sense. Like, I'm not sure what happened with the Vado situation, but I remember when, Dipset kind of split up and then he did the albums with Vado. I think he kind of put Vado on, in my opinion. Like, he brought Vado to the forefront, and, Jim and Jewel's the same thing. So, Cam's story is amazing, and I'm definitely excited to hear.
I'm getting that.
I'm copping that. I'm copping that as well. And the crazy thing, you mentioned the freestyles from the. Tell me, I've said this on pod, and I've said it in private as well. If Cam ain't in your top list of MCs, period, like in your top 25, you don't know hip hop.
That Groove Theory freestyle was.
Cam is insane with it, bro. Always been too, bro. Like I remember hearing him on a Big L album. This is probably like between like his first album and his second album, SDE. So it's probably like 98 to 2000. I copped the mixtape, and it was Big L. It was from Big L's first album. I think it was the 8 Is Enough joint with Cam.
Yep.
Oh my God, bro. Cam's been nice, and he still is nice, bro. And the gradual getting better for him it's been amazing to see. And I put Jim in that same category too, because when Jim first came out, he wasn't all that. but he's gradually gotten better. Banks, the same thing.
Banks
Lloyd
is,
Banks, to me,
insane right now.
Banks now shits on old Banks.
Absolutely. I did not. I wasn't. I liked.
Back in the day, though, was fucking.
Banks.
He was.
Yeah, that was record Banks, but now Banks is just rapping, just to rap.
Insane, bro.
Those
Let me ask
projects
you,
he just put out.
Rapid fire, real quick, before we jump in that topic. Speaking about getting better, I think Cam's gotten better over the years. I think the guys who push the pen consistently have gotten better over the years. Banks, Eminem.
Yeah.
Would you put Eminem in that, or would you like
As
older and
someone
better?
who's better now than
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah.
Technically.
I don't think
It's
so.
different.
It
is different.
I like.
Technical level, though?
Technical level, absolutely.
Okay.
For
I
sure.
think he's light years better than what he was back then.
For sure. I'll give you that.
I think it's different because I think with Eminem we hold him very, very high regard to nostalgia. When we hear Eminem album, we immediately go to like the TRL thing. We don't really take consideration of
But
skills.
you know, we was bumping Infinite, and that was a whole
Six
different.
sick dreams, a picnic scene,
That was a whole
two kids,
different
six
M
seats, one
to-
M16s with 10 clip seats and M16. Come on, bro. That was M in 2000. He was
not-
crazy
he-
then. He's crazier now, bro.
He got a lot of metaphors now that I think go over people's head.
He's got doubles and triples that go
It's
over.
re-
with people.
it's insane. You have to sit there and like you have to look at the lyrics.
You
and
gotta marinate Eminem.
like,
bro.
why
So,
did he say this?
My wife, she loves Eminem, but she kind of reverts back to like the beginning of M, and she loves Eminem's new stuff. But I think she tells me all the time like, yo, I have to sit with it. Like I literally have to sit in it.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty about him as an MC. Like
sure.
he's that talented to where it's kind of like Lupe to a point. Remember when Lupe was coming out really
Yeah.
heavy? You had to sit with a Lupe album. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
even that first album, you have to listen to it. And you're
Yeah,
like,
you gotta have a
okay.
different ear for it. I'm trying to think who else like from that era got better. You know what I'm saying? Like
I mean,
Banks,
Wayne, even though his album
Wayne.
did
Yeah, I
flop,
think
but
Wayne's gotten exceptionally
bar
better than what he
wise,
was when he
But-
was popular.
It flopped, but there's some okay tracks on it.
Yeah.
There's
New
some
one?
the new one wasn't
like it?
bad. Beat selection was garbage.
Yeah, I don't think the production was on point.
And I've been watching producers remake the album with their beats.
Way better.
If you change those beats up, that album bangs.
Yeah.
It really does.
Where do they do? Where you see that at? My bad. Where you see that at? YouTube?
Yeah, just YouTube. Just
Oh,
type
that's
in
dope. I want to check that shit out. Yeah.
Reproducing Carter 6.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I saw
I'm gonna
a
check
couple
that
of
out
Carter six
because that's what I
tracks
felt.
with,
I
like,
think we
Carter
talked
3
about that.
tracks.
Yeah, I think we talked about that. It was like I
The
think
beat was
specifically
just
one.
off.
I think you might have brought it up. That the beat selection was not
It
great.
just wasn't there. I
Yeah.
mean, lyrically, I think, like I said, Wayne to me, like, I remember, and a lot of my homies in private, like, they used to tell me I was shitting on Wayne. I never really shitted on Wayne, but I was never a big Wayne fan during his height because I always thought there were rappers better than him in that time frame. Like, when Banks was popping, I
Like
thought
lyrically
Banks,
better?
Exactly. But I think what Wayne had that the other rappers didn't have was the major label look and access to producers and access to the music. You feel me? That's a big thing in the game. So I think Wayne show improved years after getting lyrically better.
And we don't get Drake and Nicki and Tyga without Wayne.
Exactly.
Right.
So there's
Exactly.
a whole aspect to Wayne, and people ask when they ask like who's on your top. He has to be up there.
Has to be.
He has to be. He's
has to
done. He had a whole catalog before all that, and then he dropped that and gave us.
I feel like this whole generation is influenced by him. You know,
I put him in the same category as the Kanye influence. Everybody that came after Kanye is still being influenced to him today. Same thing with Wayne, bro.
yeah, bro.
And
100%.
I'm pretty sure Future's going to be like that too 10 years from now.
Yeah.
15 years from now.
For the
what I'm
newer
saying?
generation, absolutely.
That's dope, man. Yo, shout to Cam, shout to Mace. You know what I really want to hear? And Mace was supposed to put this out during the Diddy trial, but Mace has a double album he's sitting on.
Yeah, he's just chilling on it.
I want to hear it. Yo,
It's
Mace one of
probably-
my favorites, bro.
Yeah.
It's probably got
Oh,
heat.
Banks is fire.
Yo,
So
Mace
always
is-
been.
Mace,
I heard
Mace
Oh,
to me
Mace.
was like he was probably like my first like rapper that I really gravitated to as a kid.
Absolutely.
He just had everything. The girls loved him. The guys, wanted to dress like him. He just had everything, bro. So I want to hear Mace in 2025. I'm sure he could bring the hit records to the current side of music. I would love to hear it. What else we got, Grizz?
Freddie Gibbs, Alchemist, Alfredo 2 is coming.
Ooh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
When's that supposed to come out?
I don't know that I didn't see a release date.
They just announced
I
it?
didn't see a release date on it,
I
but
didn't even see that they announced it.
That's fire. fire, bro.
Like it's just like
Yo, Alfredo was a
huge rumors.
banger, bro.
So I'll give you all a quote from the article. They've officially announced a new, highly anticipated joint album titled Alfredo 2, sequel to their widely acclaimed 2020 project. The duo dropped artwork for the follow-up album, which nods to the original LP's cover of hands puppeteering a dish of pasta. No release date came with the announcement, but the duo have been talking about a sequel since as far back as 2021.
I bet you the project's already done too.
Yeah.
They probably went and made 20, 30 tracks, cut half, put it on the first one. Like, I will save this for the second one.
Yo,
Oh, that's dope. That makes sense.
Just
Man,
because
that's
the
smart.
energy, that 2020 COVID energy,
I know.
Man, that's all Cats was doing was making music. You know what I'm saying? So I guarantee they stacked. They stacked a whole 2-3 projects.
What's your thoughts on Gibbs in the sense of, do you put him, I know a lot of the younger generation, well, I should say kind of my generation / this new generation, they keep him in high regard as an MC. You got him up there as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. More than Jim, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Not trying to go back to that, but
nah.
you know what I'm
Listen,
saying?
Jim,
It's true, bro.
I think one thing that I have a little bit different to ear for is that, like, I was very into the mixtape scene during that time, and that really it was a bunch of cowboys going crazy on records.
Yeah.
And there was only a few that stood out. You know, I think Saigon stood out during that time frame. Pat Poose obviously stood out during that time frame.
Sky Zoo.
There was a lot of guys that came from that era that really stood out. But there's also guys that I knew were never gonna be at that level, but could always be decent enough to make hit records, make good records, and rap very, very well. And I always put Jim in that category. Always.
Jim or Gibbs?
Jim. Oh. Gibbs to me is, I put Gibbs in a higher regard than Jim, of course, because I think Gibbs has got a very unique way, and I appreciate it. He has a very unique way of putting projects together from top to bottom.
Absolutely.
I love that. Like, my favorite album of all time is Cuban Links. There's no album better to me in that sense of from track one to the end, because they paid attention to detail. And I appreciate that about albums. When you pay attention to detail, storytelling. And Gibbs has that in him. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those guys. Another guy from that era that I put in high regard is Pusha T. His albums, to me, are crafted so beautifully from top to bottom because he pays attention to detail. You know what I'm saying? I love that. That's the type of hip-hop that I enjoy.
I'm going to tell you that, like, nowadays, there's a few albums that did that for me. One was Astro World, Travis Scott.
Okay.
I can listen. If you listen to every single track, beginning to end, that whole album goes bananas. You know what I mean? Victory Lap,
Nipsey,
beginning to end.
Yeah.
Every track can get it. You know.
Yeah.
So it's nice when you get an album that's sonically amazing like that.
Like I look forward to albums like that, and it seems like nowadays a lot of the older guys are crafting those projects. Like, I know we didn't talk much about it, but I want to give it some light because I know we're going to talk about some new music before we get out of here, and then we're going to play a quick round of University of Dope before we get out of here. That Slick Rick album, did you hear it?
I did.
Bro, that Slick Rick album, to me, it's not his best body of work, but I love it for now because it's showing these young cats that, like, you can still take your time and make an album, tell a story. He's telling a great story throughout the album, and you don't lose any brownie points at all because you're still making a piece of art. Like, you're not just throwing a bunch of tracks out to see what works.
But I mean,
there's an art to making an album.
It was still good though. Like,
oh my God, that Slick Rick album is stupid. Have you
Production
guys seen the movie yet?
No.
So he just dropped the movie on YouTube, but I haven't peeped it yet. I want to see it though.
We were listening to that Documents track with Nas. The first like 3 seconds of hearing that beat, I was like, "Yo, Premiere?" He goes, "Nah, I don't think so." Slick Rick did the beat, and it's like, "Yo, what?"
Slick Rick got some production secret. I'm telling you, I look up artists to see if they got production credits, and cats have tracks that you bang, and you're like,
that's how Havoc is.
Who made that?
I know. Yeah, that's how Havoc. Eminem's like that for me too.
Yeah,
I hear Eminem.
M's production is crazy.
Stupid.
And you could tell when it's an M beat though. You could definitely tell when it's one of his beats.
Well, his new shit, I don't know. Did you hear the last album?
Yeah.
The Death of Slim Shady?
Absolutely.
So he did, I think he did about 70% of the album, and I had no idea because I couldn't tell those were his beats. Like, it's insane. He must be working, obviously, with other producers, but his ear is insane. But yeah, like I said with Freddie, I think Freddie's one of those top-tier guys, and I'm excited for Alfredo, too. I thought the first one was amazing.
Well, Alchemist reinventing himself year after year after year with all these cats that he works with.
So he won.
He got to be the GOAT now, Doug.
He's up. He's top. He's got to be top 5.
Absolutely.
Of all time.
I agree.
He might round out my 5 spot for sure.
So Gibbs won the Grammy for the Madlib album, right?
Oh yeah.
Or was it Alfredo?
No, it was.
Was that Pinata joint?
It was the Madlib joint. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But I mean, still.
He still got nominated for Alfredo. What you think of Gibbs? You a Gibbs fan?
I like him. Yeah. I like Frank Gibbs. Yeah, for sure. I remember he was on the freshman cover, right?
Yeah.
Years ago. That's when I first got put on to him was when he was on the freshman cover.
He's dope.
But I don't think he gets enough credit, bro. A lot of people don't know about Freddie Gibbs still.
I don't think he gets enough credit. And his pen game he's another one of those guys where you look at his older projects up until now, that pen is sharp, bro.
Mixtape too.
Yeah.
All that stuff he was dropping.
Was it ESG joints? What they call them? What were those joints called?
I just remember the cover.
It was like ESPN, but it was like ESGN, I think was the name of it. Yeah, that's dope. What else we got?
We got Complex dropped a list. So we got another list.
Yeah. Goddamn Complex.
50 diss records of all time.
Okay.
It's bullshit.
Oh, it's bullshit.
Yeah, I don't really. I mean,
why though? Can you explain why?
Well, I mean, the songs definitely deserve to be here, but I don't agree with the order. You know what I'm saying? Number one, no surprise. I think everybody, Not Like Us, right?
Not Like Us, okay.
Number one of all time, 50 of diss records of all time. You're gonna tell me Not Like Us?
I put it in the top 5.
Number one though?
I might not put it number one, but
I wouldn't put it
in
number one.
I would. It's got everything you need.
You'd put it in number one?
I wouldn't put it in number one for me, no.
That's what I'm saying.
But I put it in the top 5.
Okay, well that's fair. I mean that's fair, right? I mean it blew up. It's everywhere. It's been everywhere, right? And that's some cheating shit going on that we talked about before. But right? Did we not? It's not a whole lawsuit out from the cheating shit. I was searching for the Not Like Us album or the for All the Dogs album and was getting results for Kendrick Lamar. Not Like Us. It was pulling up when I was searching. I was looking for Drake
see what happens with the lawsuit.
and it was playing Kendrick Lamar.
I think it's all
You know what I'm saying? Nah. Bro, get out of here. It was everywhere for a reason, right? People liked it. Like it was at the Super, but he got help. He got help, bro.
Of course he had help.
This is not the number one. This is not the number one song.
Number 2?
In my opinion, number
two.
Number 2
it should be number 1.
Probably, I would agree.
What's number 2?
I wouldn't be mad at that. Hit him up.
Oh no.
You know.
You don't. You know.
I'll put Hit Him Up above.
Yeah.
Above.
Not Like Us.
I put it above Not Like Us, but not number 1.
Bro,
It's not number 1.
I remember
number
the
3?
first time I heard that shit.
Yeah, this is
Takeover.
These need to be switched.
Yeah.
Oh.
Takeover and then Ether.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I feel like Ether was.
What is number 5?
Ether.
I'm about to have a problem.
Ether's number 1 for me.
I got a problem.
Bridge is over?
No Vaseline?
Yeah.
Number 6.
No Vaseline's number 6. Yep.
No.
Wait, time out.
Wrong.
Yeah, I agree, bro.
Top 5 is what? According to Complex.
Not Like Us.
Okay.
Hit 'Em Up. Takeover. Ether. Bridge is Over.
Yeah, that's top 5. And then No Vaseline is 6.
No.
So 10 is No Vaseline is 6. Story of Adnan at 7. Back to Back at 8.
Story could be in the 5.
I don't.
Yeah, it could be. I will put it. It's in my top 5.
Just off the album cover, the artwork cover alone is.
Yo, Push did a lot of damage to Drake on our level from seeing it from an MC's perspective.
For sure. Half of these records are towards Drake.
I love Back to Back. Back to Back definitely.
Right.
Half of these records are towards Drake. So.
Really? What's in the top? So go through the top 10. So 7 was what was 6? I'm sorry. No Vaseline.
6 was No Vaseline.
7 was Push.
7 is Story of Adnan. Drake is number 8 with Back to Back.
Okay.
9 is Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg fucking with Dre Day. Cannabis is number 10. Second round KO.
No.
Yeah. I'm not very happy with this list. I feel like these songs, they all deserve to be here, but I don't agree with the order at all. And I don't know, I don't have a link to the actual so I don't know what their criteria was. I don't know what they went off of, if it was like popularity, if it was
a lot of these lists.
We need to see that rubric.
Yeah, I'd like to know what it was based on. Hold up, let me see.
Yeah.
I need to see the list.
Ether was better.
Ether
than
to me
Takeover.
is my number one. Yo.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Ether
to me is number one.
Ether's definitely.
Bro, I was outside for the J and Nas. I know you was too. Like we was kids, but bro, I was when Nas dropped. Do you remember the first freestyle Nas did to Jay over the Paid in Full beat?
Yeah.
Where he's like, I go through Memphis, they stop and get beans in Philly. Like, yo, that Nas fucking to me set it off, and I knew from that point Nas was gonna win. I do love Takeover though.
Takeover's fire. Like I said, Super Ugly is crazy too.
Bro.
You like Super Ugly?
Really? It's 2 beats. It's 2 beats. He went over, got yourself a gun.
Fan. I love the AI bars. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I think Super Ugly. I like
you
the
a Jules fan.
Absolutely.
I know you.
Absolutely.
I know you.
Me and this guy used to fucking debate about Kobe and AI. Remember the finals that year? Oh my God.
That could have ended a friendship right there.
For real.
I don't
this guy
think
was Kobe to death, yo. I told my wife when Kobe passed, I was upset obviously. And she's like, I didn't know you was a Kobe fan. I was like, secretly I hated Kobe, but I loved him at the same time.
I felt the same way about
bro.
AI.
It's like, bro, you can't hate on him, but you gotta hate on him. It's like the Sixers lost that year.
They did lose.
They fucking lost.
But there's a whole controversy over that too.
Really, is there?
Oh yeah.
Conspiracy theory shit.
Yeah. There's that.
We're gonna have to talk about that. I'm curious.
The Lakers
now.
and Kings joint.
Really?
There's a whole
payoffs or what?
So
Get out of here. There's a documentary on it.
A whole documentary about Lakers versus Kings.
Okay.
There are no criteria on this list, so
I think it says though right here, Danny is constantly being up to keep the fans entertained, so lines will be crossed while artists strive to find their unique creative ways to slander their opponents. Mothers, women, and children have all been involved.
Nice.
So I think that they're kind of like
what
disrespectful.
So it's the
Like-
most
like
disrespectful.
Get disrespect. Like,
okay.
how am I gonna make you cry?
I mean, I guess.
I mean, if it's based on that criteria, then I would understand why the top 5 is the top 5.
No Vaseline
But
is
what-
still number 1.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What was the
I don't
Kendrick
know.
one where the video had the van? Or that was the Drake one, right?
That was push-ups.
No, that was Family Matters.
That was
Family
Matters.
Matters,
That's right.
No, Family Matters.
Yo, I was hurt looking at the as a Kendrick fan, looking at the band.
This guy's the resident Kendrick fan. This
I
guy's
remember
our
waking up in
Kendrick
the middle of the night and I was like, "Oh, Drake dropped," and then I was like, "Oh, Kendrick got one at 7:00 in the morning." I'm like, "What is
fan.
that?"
It was
Is
insane. I was working a battle that weekend, and
I called him at like 6 in the morning
I'm like, bro,
when
don't call me.
616
I'm
dropped.
doing a battle. That was the battle with Averb and what's the other guy's name, bro? Swamp and Averb.
yeah.
He was in Miami. I was supposed to be in Miami, and I told him I'll just work from the house because a lot of stuff I do on the back end for the battles is production wise, live production through the pay-per-view streams, and like everybody's hitting me. Yo, Drake just dropped. Kenny just dropped. And I'm like, bro, I didn't listen to the battle until it was over, so I wasn't like hit for hit.
Oh, I was hit
And
for hit the whole way through.
I loved having it that way because back in the day I would be on it.
Oh yeah.
And then I think it would have swayed my opinion, like, oh, Drake's winning. Nah, I just got to listen to the whole thing.
I
like,
think
oh,
that was
this
the
is
beauty of it,
paradise.
though,
I got to binge listen to it as well.
because you hear the Cole track and you're like, "Oh," then you hear the Drake track, you're like, "Oh," and then you hear the Kendrick track, you're like, "Oh," and it makes you like, "Okay, I want to see what's next. I gotta see what's next." And then Kendrick topped everything.
Yeah. I thought, me personally, I knew it was over when Meet the Grams dropped.
Now, Alchemist.
Not like us was a cherry on top. But I knew when Meet the Grams
Meet the
dropped,
Grams
I said it's
killed
over.
it.
It's over.
I think
dog.
that's a better track than Not Like Us.
Yeah, I agree.
For sure.
I agree.
Not Like Us had the commercial success.
Yeah.
To where
Bro,
It's
but
the beat.
Meet the Grams made you like really. It made me think about.
It was like Stan
mine,
mixed with like.
how
you
I
look
live.
you look inside yourself and
Yo,
you're like,
bro, you're like, damn.
When let me ask you though, and this is just I'm being biased, so putting my bias hat on, because I was a part of this, and I this is a highlight moment for me in my career. Was Sheether in there?
Yes, it was.
What number was Sheether?
I think it was in the 20s.
It's top 25.
I think.
Please tell me that. No?
36.
36? Damn, that's low. It's got to be top 25.
That after Roxanne Shante.
Really?
Damn, they got Killshot at 45. That is nuts.
Killshot should
Yo,
be
he,
up there, too.
He switched a man's genre.
Yeah, he made someone stop rapping off of that.
But Eminem's got, honestly, in my opinion, Eminem's got some of the best diss right. Eminem's got to be up there a couple times, please.
Oh, the Stillmatic freestyle? Oh my God.
Nas is on there? What number is he?
Well, that
That's what I was just talking about.
That one's at 44. That Stillmatic freestyle?
That's
bro, he rapped.
But if it's going on, if the criteria is disrespectful, I get it.
Yeah.
But Sheether should be in the top 10 if that's the case.
Yeah.
Because that was disrespectful.
It was, but it's...
What
no,
about,
you don't think so?
What about Quick?
Quick?
Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
God, what's that track?
Dollars and Cents?
Yeah, Dollars and Cent, bro. Come on.
I'm curious now. What's
You
in the
talking
top?
about-
Okay,
you
go
talking about
11 to
pissing on
20,
somebody.
Grizz. What's 11 to 20?
Common or 11 is 50 Cent Back Down.
Ooh.
That's a record.
12 is Common.
The
That's
bitch in
a-
you?
the-
Oh,
that-
that's my shit.
And he went after a whole coast.
The whole coast. He didn't care.
By himself.
By himself. I
Third-
love Common.
A conscious rapper.
I know.
And
Yeah.
then he gives you that. Props to Common, man.
I love Common, dog. I'm a
13
big
is
Common
LL Cool J to the Break of Dawn. Tupac Against All Odds. MC Light 10% diss. 16 Boogie Down Productions.
That kind of made someone stop rapping too. Because that was what, Shan?
Yeah.
What happened after that?
Yeah, I heard.
That's insane.
Yo, shout out to Shan. I love Shan.
17 Metro Boomin. And Future with Kendrick Lamar Like That.
Is that what started it all?
Yeah, it is. 18 Eminem, Nail in the Coffin. We talked about that one. I really like that one. I like that shit a lot.
Oh, that nail in the coffin's hard, bro.
Yeah. 19 is The Truth by Gucci. I fuck with that. I like that a lot too.
That was disrespectful, too.
20 Family Matters
Okay.
by Drake.
Yo,
20.
Family Yo, let me tell you something, bro. I hate to keep going back to this damn battle, but it's just such a great battle. Bro, that family, Drake danced on that joint, bro.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean.
Yo, when he said, Kendrick has opened his mouth, where's your uncle at? I want to see the man in the house. I fell out my chair, dog.
Yeah, Drake did his thing on that shit. When I heard that, I thought he won.
Oh, for real?
At the point that it got to.
Okay.
And then
And
we
then
heard
It
more.
was like 45 minutes later.
Did you like Euphoria? I really like Euphoria.
It's all right.
I really like it, but I'm a sucker for flow changes and patterns switching up in the middle of a rap. I'm a sucker for that shit. That's just me nitpicking, but damn. All right, well, consensus is what?
Euphoria was 22.
Really?
Nah, it's 23.
23.
Yeah. DJ Quick, this Dollars and Cents 21. Tim Dog,
Tim
Fuck
Dog.
Compton 22. Kendrick,
Tim
Euphoria
Dog track is
23.
fire.
He went in, though.
Did.
Yeah, Jack the Ripper 24. 25 is
Jack
M.
Ripper by LL?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's one of my
25
favorite
M and
diss records.
D12. Hit him up freestyle. Quitter hit him up
Hit him on
freestyle.
freestyle? I don't remember that one.
It's Quitter hit him up freestyle. Is the
Oh,
name of
Quitter.
it.
I do remember Quitter.
So,
Okay.
but yeah, man. I mean, it's not a list that I'm a fan of, but I think that's part of the reason that they do this, right? Like they know people are going to debate.
debate.
They know it's going to come up.
They
know
want
it's
the
gonna stir the
complex
pot.
in the YouTube so they can get the streams.
100%,
So
100%.
it just creates conversation.
Well, what's your pick? Not to push you on the spot. So, number one diss record of all time, based off their criteria in the disrespectful.
Hit 'em up.
Hit 'em up. Okay. You, Chris?
No Vaseline.
Okay. You?
I'm taking no Vaseline in any way, shape, or form. Anybody wants to say a diss track, no Vaseline.
Yeah.
I will die on that hill.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
To me, and this is just off of Hit 'em Up. How you gonna have a feature?
Yeah, but you got to remember during that time, like,
I
it was
know.
all going at each other, bro.
But it's like the Joey shit. When Joey put who'd he put? Murder Mook on it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
you
was
talk
like-
Loaded Lux. Loaded Lux.
Oh yeah, Loaded Lux. I was like,
Well, Loaded Lux got, but see, that's
yeah, I
the
know,
thing.
but
That's
they
deeper.
got the right. I know where
Segue
he's
into
going
that.
at.
I want to talk. That's our last topic, right?
Yeah, we're ready to.
Ready for the
Yeah,
next
we're,
step. Okay.
yeah, we're
Real
good.
quick,
We're good.
Speaking of, I know I didn't mention this when we had our interview with you, but I know you connected with the Battle League out here, right?
Yeah.
What's your stake in that? Do you run events? Like what do you do for you?
So initially, when the whole idea was coming together to do that, my boy Avenue was the one talking to the homie Brad, and they were the ones like, hey, we got this idea. I still remember the phone call. Av hits me up, and he's like, yo, I got this idea. I want to do
Shout to
this.
Av, man.
Because like I said, I put Av onto Scribble Jam back in the day. You know, Scribble Jam on beats, battles, Swan, all those cats that were doing all that. So he hit me up and he's like, yo, we want to do this thing like, how it was, what was the old Grind Time and all that was already out.
Yeah.
And he's like, we want to do that out here. And essentially we ended up becoming a part of like the street team. So we were the promoters. We would go put flyers out. We would go to hit all these spots. And that's exactly where I met my wife. She was on part of the street team for UBR. So
hip hop love, I love it. That's fire.
We were always linked together in that way. So that's we have an interesting story when you ask how did you meet her, and I was like through hip hop, through battle rapping. What I mean? But as far as stake now, I don't have any. I just support. I sponsor whenever they have events.
They still around doing anything?
Absolutely.
Dope. Good for
Absolutely.
them,
Shout out UBR.
Yo, I popped up to. I remember I had a combo. I had a meeting with, I believe, I can't remember his name. I remember his face, and pardon me, I'm probably gonna get dragged for it. But he was actually, I think they were looking for sponsors, and I think I was in the process of wanting to do a sponsorship, and then things kind of fell out. But I really wanted to work with them, and this was pre my time with Chrome because I always thought battle rap was one of the kind of key things for the culture, right?
That's one of the elements.
So, yeah, absolutely. So I really wanted to make sure at the end of the day that, I support, especially on a local level, because I believe in, battle rap at the highest form to me is one of the key elements. It is the key element of this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Lyrically talking shit to each other.
It's amazing. I love it. And I've been blessed to, working with Chrome's been dope because we're looking for new talent, so we'll talk off air about that. Maybe we can link together and see what kind of talent's been coming, because I want to do maybe a tryout or something like that here. You know what I'm saying? We get a bunch of guys in the region, not just here in the city, but AZ, Denver, Utah, Cali, and have them come through and make sure that everything is golden on that side. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely gonna talk on there on that. But let's jump in a couple rounds of this University of Dope. Shout out to the good people at University of Dope. This is a camera on me. It's a card game, right? What's the tagline again? Your favorite rapper is trash?
Oh yeah.
Chris got to get out here, so we're gonna do a quick round or two.
A disrespectful party game for hip hop lovers because your favorite rapper is trash. Keep that in mind.
Who's your favorite battle rapper of all time? You have one?
All time?
Yeah.
Probably Clips.
Okay.
Clips.
Blind Fury.
I don't know. Twerk's up there.
Blind Fury was
Blind
fire,
Fury
bro.
don't fucking play, dog.
Hey, your wife, who's your favorite? Battle rapper. Who's your favorite?
She couldn't tell you.
She couldn't tell you?
No.
Cassidy.
We don't.
Cassidy's fire, bro.
Shit, I ain't talking shit.
Cass was all right.
Murder Mook's my favorite.
I love Mook's up there.
I love Mook. He's my favorite.
Daylight's super fucking fire.
Daylight's up there.
Daylight's dope.
You can even say
Arsenal.
Oof.
Rum Nitty.
Rum is a problem,
He's a
bro.
problem.
He's super dope.
Tay Rock. Yeah, he came out. He did one of our events. Rest in peace, Young B. Rum Nitty. He came.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I heard about that.
He did one of our.
So, I feel bad because I really wasn't tapped into the battle rap culture after Smack. Once the Smack DVDs kind of went out, I didn't really pay attention. So when Rim called me, I kind of told her, I was like, I don't know none of these guys. I know Clips. You know what I'm saying? I knew some of the top tier guys, but even for me to see the girls, Miss Hustle is one of my favorites.
Jazz, the rapper.
Jazz is amazing.
She might
too.
be top of the ladies.
Nah, I put Hustle over Jazz though.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is I kind of got into it with the new pair of eyes, and I started hearing these girls and guys that, for the first time, and there's so much talent out there, bro.
It's wild.
It's insane, bro.
It's so good for the culture too.
It's amazing. All right, who goes first?
We gotta get these bottles filled so we can fill these cups, so the loser could drink.
Yeah, the loser got to drink. So So let me run down the game. All right. So it's majority rules, right? I'm gonna pick a card. I'm gonna read it, and basically, you pick A, B, C, or D. Right? These are the cards you got in your hand. Did you get a?
I didn't get no cards.
Oh, I got it. My bad. He gave them to me, and I thought I had two of you. I was like, I guess I got two of each.
So you say the question out loud. You pick your pick, and then basically we all flip it at the same time, right?
Yes.
And then whoever's the loser of that draw, you got to drink a whole cup of. alkaline water produced and distributed by the good folks at the Hydro Bar, bro. It's bumping in here. It gets bumping in here on the weekends, bro. Look at that line, bro. People filling up with water.
That's
Shout out
right.
to everybody in here, man.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to everybody in here. All right, T-Rap, you want to go first? Ladies first, man.
Man, fuck you. Bitch ass. I'm gonna skip that one because honestly, I don't know that bar. The worst comeback into the rap game: Shine, M, Mace, or Bobby Shmurda.
Okay, before you guys pick, if you don't pick anybody, you got to drink water as well.
Okay.
Okay.
The worst comeback?
The worst comeback into the rap game: Shine, M, Mace, and Bobby Shmurda.
Okay.
I don't understand why they got M in there.
Yeah, neither do I, but okay, I got mine. Sure.
And
But I love this brother. I actually am very fond of this brother, but I'm going to pick. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3.
Shmurda.
Shmurda, you got to go.
What?
Shine, I mean
The worst comeback? This fool came back. He didn't come back. He went to jail and went back home.
But he tried. Well, Shmurda went to jail too and came back and did what?
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't think
guess you're right.
I didn't think Shine's comeback was that bad.
I guess Bobby Shmurda came out and didn't really. I guess. Where's he at?
Shout out to Bobby
Yeah,
Shmurda, though.
I guess. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
no,
shout
for
out
sure.
to Shmurda.
All right.
All right, next one. I know Grizz got to get out of here, so we're gonna leave him pissing in the car. I gotta take a pit stop.
I gotta pee now. I've had to pee for a minute. I've already gone through like half this bottle, maybe.
All right, best rapper turned actor: A, Ice-T, B, Ludacris, C, LL Cool J, D, Common.
Best. Okay. Best rapper turned actor.
best
Best?
rapper turned actor.
Okay. All right. I got it. All ready?
Shit.
I got my pick.
All right.
You ready? 1, 2, 3.
Tie.
Luda was only in Fast and the
drink.
Furious, right?
Shit, Ice-T, bro. Ice-T.
He's still going.
Yeah, bro. He's out
He's
here
still going.
delivering
Ludacris
lines.
got some acting, right? Like, I just
yeah.
thought he was the best. He also had made the most money. Like, shit, Fast and Furious is still going.
He did make some money off it, but Ice-T got a stand and show.
I mean, you're not wrong. I don't know.
All right. Yeah, see, this is way nicer than drinking.
I thought they were gonna say Will Smith.
32-ounce bottle
you
of
are
this
not.
thing, bro.
Yes,
My
yes.
goodness.
Yeah, good call, Grizz. Hey,
Nah,
we're
Jason.
just trying
That's all
shit.
you, bro.
Oh, look, I like getting hydrated. Shout out to Hydro Bar for sure, but bro, a 40 ounce
What's
of
good,
water
P-Dog?
to the neck? Nah.
Choose a player to do their best DMX impersonation for 10 seconds. I have to.
It's for me, right? All right.
10 seconds.
All right.
Damn.
Can I do anything?
You got 10 seconds, my guy.
10 seconds? All right.
I don't care what you do. Drink.
Where my dogs at? Where my dogs at?
That growl was.
Fire.
That growl was not it. Man.
No.
Not it, brother.
I tried. Man.
Not it, my
Shout
guy.
out to X. Rest in peace, man.
Yeah.
Yo, speaking of, you remember when
like it. I
Jay,
like that you
Jay,
gave
X,
it your
and
best,
John
though.
Rule were supposed to have a group?
Yeah.
They had a couple heaters.
Bro, that
That's
first
why I
track.
will ever
Jay?
Jay, X,
Ja Rule.
and Ja Rule.
That's like.
There's a
Okay.
track on, it's called "It's Murder" on Ja Rule's first album.
It's murder.
Then you
Vinny
listen
Venom.
to
Fire.
that. If they had a whole album of that, would have been insane.
It's one of my favorite J verses. I
Change the
dip,
game.
squat, post up, with the toast up. I bring beef to a closure. God, Jay was
Alrighty.
nasty with it, dog.
That trio would have been crazy.
Don't be hating on Ja Rule, dog.
Yeah. dog.
Best film with a rapper in it.
Uh-oh.
Belly. Paid in full. Bad Boys. Set it off.
All right, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Man, that's a rough one.
I'm ready.
I was just
Belly. Paid in full. Bad Boys. Set it off. All right.
Wow, really?
Go!
What's up, Jay?
That's crazy.
Belly is so fire though. Like,
Belly is fire.
I
Oh
can't-
yeah,
I
most
cannot-
definitely.
you cannot shit
But
on
Paid in
Belly.
Full is
But I love
it's a
Paid
true
in Full,
story,
the
dog.
story
It's a
behind
true
Paid in
story.
Full.
You know what I'm saying? All right, cool.
Paid in Full was 2 actors and a rapper, right?
Right.
And Belly was
Belly
2 rappers.
Was straight rappers.
I respect. I respect.
All right, for sure. All right.
All right, man.
I like how technical.
But remember, Mekhi Phifer did go on to be Future.
That is true.
Fake dreadlocks. So all right. I respect.
One more.
We could do another round. We could just do another round. real quick.
Mr. Conceited, the best Dr. Dre song about Dr. Dre. Forgot About Dre or Still Dre?
So it's either A or B?
A or B. The most conceited.
Still DRE or Forgot About Dre?
All right.
The most conceited Dre joint.
Okay. 1.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. What the fuck? Because you had M talking about Dre in that one too.
Yeah. Because M wrote that one. Jay wrote the Still DRE. I love DRE though. Still DRE is fire.
But if we talking about bangers, still DRE.
Bro, this would be 4 bottles of water right now, dog.
All right, yo.
All right.
Before we get out here, Jay, plug your socials, man. Where can they find you at?
At DJ Jason everything. 2 J's.
AYSIN.
Only Slabs is the new joint, the new venture. J Cinematics, Dreaded Card Genius. I'm on everything. I'm everywhere.
Yeah, man. Make sure you go follow, support. Appreciate you coming up here, bro.
Appreciate y'all having me up here.
Anytime you got something going on, project, like I said, with the crew, you guys want to come up here, just hit me and we'll make it happen. And
I want to come make some beats for y'all too. Live.
yeah, I would love.
Oh, bro, that would have been sick.
You know what? Next time we have you up here, what I'll do is I'll grab one of these rinky-dinky guys that these young cats that think they could go. We'll put a live mic in their face and say, go spit.
Yeah.
With the beat. You got to come up with it. Sink or swim.
Or you bring them up here and I have to make beats for them.
There you go.
That fit their style.
Yeah.
So
I'm with it.
We'll test it. We want to test and see who can do good under pressure.
T.I., where can I find your bitch ass at?
Bro, the disrespect from you is stupid.
Hey, man, I got to abuse somebody around here.
That kid, T_Rav.
Dope. IG?
Anywhere. IG,
You on chat snap?
X, Snapchat.
Talk tick? You on all that shit?
I don't know what my TikTok is, but
Grizz, where can they find you, dog?
That's _Grizzly Instagram.
My guy.
I think that's all. I think I got TikTok. Mine really be on there.
We also got the Commission Cypher page coming soon. Grizz gonna give y'all some details on that here shortly. I know we working on that.
Yeah.
I got some merch coming, and Vinny_Venom, man. You catch me up in here. Make sure, again, you guys like, subscribe, share the whole 9.